Kick the type of shit that only winners can. Call me Mr. Long Schlong, itchy in the hand. Bitch, I been a man, moving like a businessman. Mobbing Dolo, probably canceling our dinner plan. Keep my lungs full of gas with some gold on my collar. Acting stingy with these Benjis, ho, I need every dollar. Got a Dutchie full of spice and a Spice Girl choosing. Got them mad at the guard cause they product ain't moving. I been heavy stepping on them like a triple chin, ho. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Please come again, ho. Niggas steady playing games, but they never win, no. Scoring every time I touch down like the end zone. Told them I cannot apologize, I keep it bug 50. My beginning came from winning, you ain't gotta fuck with me. I'm the top tier shotter, this is not for the Elo. Putting coochie on my face and putting ops in my relo. Throwing hands at your public school, sound like me. Probably smash away your cousin too, sound like me. Bending corners while I'm bending rules, sound like me. All that shit you talking, it ain't nothing new. Tell them put it in my head with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, bitch, I been working. Put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, got my wrist working. Ayy, levitating only like a legend can. All my shit be slapping like 11 hands. Got them playing catch up, they in last place. Serving niggas dust, it's like a drag race. Dummy think he winning, make me Ellen Mayo. I'm with my yellow bone mommy with color mayo. And while you on your way to clocking, on my way to Keiko's. I know that all you do is hate, that's all you had to say though. I give not a single fuck how you feel to be real. They been bluffing, they don't know just how it feel to be real. Pulling weight for the squad, winning at the tug of war. He ain't put you on no game, shawty, what you fuck him for? Nothing less and nothing more than the illest nigga in it. Bending corners on my pivot, doing donuts, doing digits. Got my hoodie cushions in it, I'm a motherfucking legend. Used to pick her up at 7, had her back around 11. Throwing hands at your public school, sound like me. Probably smash away your cousin too, sound like me. Bending corners while I'm bending rules, sound like me. All that shit you talking, it ain't nothing new. Tell them put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, bitch, I been working. Put it in my hand with no lip service. Oh, I been a man, got my wrist working.
Ay, ay. Look, I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, Papa don't preach, teachers don't teach. Gon' reach, that's facts. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm making that cash stack. Bunch of O's like NASCAR, but it's really more like NASDAQ. Why they thinking that they hot when they really more like quarter on me like a referee? Hating what they'll never be. Small top with a big bottom, yeah, shorty shaped like a letter D. Let her have it, then I let her be. If you love it, gotta let it grow. Crazy cause you really never know. When I'm hurting, never let it show. I'm a two-tone, two-phone, two-chain, new thing, lame whip, but you a broke. Low class, no cash, certified lame. I'm getting to it like I ought to. Couldn't pick, so I bought two. Understand why your chick came, I'm just trying to figure why she brought you. I'm really reppin' and I'm flexed up, and I ain't gotta tell him I'm next up. Sleep on the they rest up, but I'm up and I'm getting my checks up. Me and the fellas be high as propellers, they could tell us we great. Looking at like how do you figure unless you been talking about 8 figures. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look how we litty, we turned up the city, we raising the bar height. I been finessing, just look at them stressing, yeah, they been on all night. Sipping this water with somebody's daughter, she take what I taught her and build on it. Came in this game on that today, ain't in a couple years later, we still on it. Be hating on it, be waiting on it like a new season. I bet an acre on it, I put some paper on it like I'm loose leafing. Buying them assets, build me a cash net, I could fall in. Look at my last bet, ain't got a tiptoe, I'm all in. Think on a level that can't fail, and I roll me a J with the hate mail. Been doing good on the merch sale, all this bread on me look like a bake sale. Tell her what's really good, I be really good on a jaw jack. Send an email about the bread, I'ma hit you back with the call back. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be.
Come on in. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you guys for coming out for the show tonight. Right before Christmas, we put this together for you guys for Christmas. So Merry Christmas, y'all. Come on in, hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. We already got a dislike and we ain't even said nothing yet. So, okay. I appreciate you for taking the time out to come and watch. Let's see what we got. Let's see who we got. We ain't gonna go through everybody because we want to get started and get the show on the road. So shout out to Steven, Mark Brown, Shannon. I see Kenosha, Craig Freeman. I see Glenn Logan, Harrisburg in the building. What else we got? Ken Hooten, Brown Goat Logistics, Pippi, what's up? What up? Big Hearn, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Craig Freeman. Who else we got? Marcel. I see a lot of Chicago in the building. I see everybody from Chicago representing the city in the building. Bag Life, what up? Sale, what up? It's D Walk, what up? What up? What up? What up? All right, everybody come on in. I'm not finna go down the timeline. That's a lot of cities down the timeline. Shout out to Detroit. I know a lot of people in here from Detroit. A lot of people in from Chicago. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All right, so boom. Let's set some ground rules real quick before we even get started. Before I introduce the guest, we got a guest. So moderators, we doing zero tolerance. You know, we're gonna be talking about box trucking. And you know, it's a lot of things people agree with. It may be some things people disagree with. People have different feelings about different things, and that's okay. It's business. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to, you know, get disrespectful. So moderators, this is what I need. Doing zero tolerance. If anybody gets out of line to the point where it's extremely disrespectful, ban them. If somebody gets out of line, listen, differences of opinion is okay. People are okay to express whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we going to get to a point where it should even get like that in the chat, right? But if it does, and it's just something that's a little unruly, but it's not disrespectful, moderators, put the individual on timeout for 1 hour. 1 hour. So 1 hour timeout, all right, for something that's just excessive, that's deemed, you know, unwarranted in the chat, you know, differences of opinion, constructive criticism. If people are having differences of opinion, it's educational and it's sticking to business, then that's fine. A little, you know, if it's outside of, if it's below the belt, but not disrespectful, timeout for an hour. If it's just bogus and it's just completely disrespectful, ban them. All right. So let's just get that out the way. All right, so first I want to introduce the guest. This is someone who I've been following for quite some time. I watch the content. I follow the content as those that watch the box truck content, because this niche is small. It's very small. You know, we had a little back and forth. You know, we was on our Jay-Z Nas stuff. You know what I'm saying, about a month ago. You know, we went back and forth, but I think we do have a mutual respect for one another. So I did reach out to him to make this possible, because this is something that a lot of people requested. And, you know, when people request stuff, you know, I'm going to make an attempt. All right. We both from Chicago, right? We both from the crib. So it ain't really nothing like what y'all, like it wasn't nothing. It was friendly sparring. It was friendly sparring. You see what I'm saying? But tonight we're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna talk about some Amazon stuff. We're gonna talk about peak season. You feel what I'm saying? So I want to introduce y'all to Midwest Box Trucking. I tagged them at the top of the subject, and it's in the description. So make sure y'all go follow them. What's going on?
Hey, what's happening, man? Appreciate you for having me.
Man, I appreciate you for coming on, man. It's a lot of stuff I want to talk about tonight, man. I just want to get your perspective. It's not often people in this space, and the space is so small, people like, you know, because it's cliquey in this space. So it's not often that people who don't, you know, ain't part of a certain clique get to collaborate and express their differences of opinion or things they agree upon as far as the box truck space on a platform together. So I appreciate you for taking the time out tonight to do this, and hopefully everyone gets to enjoy this show tonight and gets to pick up some information. So me and you ain't formally met, because we just been communicating since Sunday through email. Right. I know you from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. How old are you, and what side of town you grew up on?
I'm actually, I just turned 39.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm pretty much from the southeast side of Chicago. Pretty much stayed to the lake.
Me too.
And right.
I went to CVS.
But somebody said you was from the west side.
I grew up, the first half of my childhood, I was on the west side, and then my OG moved southeast. So I'm a little bit, I don't want to say exactly where, but in between Commercial and South Chicago.
That's why I went to high school.
You went to what? Bowen?
Bowen.
You went to Bowen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I went to the V. I went to the V. I came out in I came out in 98. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I'm from between South Chicago and Commercial, between 83rd and 87th.
That was my stomping grounds when I was a shorty.
Okay.
For real. Like you
Okay.
probably seen me before and didn't even know it.
Probably.
Yep.
Probably. Probably.
Hmm.
Okay. So you went to Bowen. You came out in what year?
I came out in '02.
Oh two. Okay.
Yeah.
So you was coming in high school in 98 and I was coming out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you probably
Exactly.
did. You probably did see me, depending on what side of the east you east of commercial. Don't tell me exactly where, but was you east of commercial or was
No,
you
I
west of
wasn't. I
commercial?
wasn't. I was. No, I wasn't east because you talking about like Burley and
In the
going up
three
those sides.
in the bees,
No,
yeah.
no. I'm not from over there. No,
Okay, okay,
but I
cool.
know people from that area, and I
Okay,
know exactly what you talk about. Like I said, commercial. That's where we hung out as kids.
okay. So you
So,
used to go to Union Hall.
oh yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I used to be in Union Hall. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well then,
See, I never knew you was from that area. Everybody out from what I always heard, they said the west side. So, you know.
first half the west side, but my
Hmm.
OG she bought a house over east in 92. So I was 12. So from 0 through 12, because I was born, we was in Rockwell Gardens. So I
Hmm.
was in the projects, then,
Hmm.
moving around, LeClaire, Chicago Avenue, Monticello, and Augusta. And then she
Right.
bought the house in 92 over east. So from 12 on to now, she's
Hmm.
still there, from over east. So, yep,
I got
yep,
you. I got you.
yep, yep, yep.
Hmm.
So we weren't too far from each other, man. So
Hmm.
it's all love. But let's get straight into it, man. Let's get straight into it. Let's start with Amazon, man, because this is this get me into trouble all the time, man. And when I like picking on y'all Amazon guys, and not because of actual Amazon. The reason why I do it is because y'all get so, man, like the way y'all with Amazon, I think y'all was Jeff Bezos himself, man. Y'all just be so protective over Amazon. Like you can't say nothing bad about Amazon. Why is
But
that?
I don't think I really take that stance though, Mark. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like
Okay.
I haven't dubbed myself like anything as far. I run Amazon. I
Okay.
kind of pride myself on knowing their processes and staying aware of changes and things of
Mm,
that nature. But as far as, because I got homeboys that approach me like that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And some go wrong, and they hit my phone, and then they like your company they edit again. And I'm, wait, what you talking? My company? It's not my company. Like I don't, so I
Mm,
had individuals hit me and they blame me for different situations they go on
mm.
or go through at Amazon. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I don't think I take that stance as, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like the leader of Amazon or,
Mm.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay. But why do you
But
think?
I know what you mean, but
Uh,
I don't think that's me.
so you run Amazon? That's it. You don't do any. I know you said in one of the videos you do some of the apps. I think you work off Curie, but
Mhm.
Amazon is your go to, right?
Right. It is. It is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, then why? Oh, let me ask you this: what's the fascination? Because I seen the fascination that I saw when I came into content creation on the ass end of the pandemic. It seemed like there was just this fascination with Amazon. It's kind of died off now. Now I see more people shitting on it than during the pandemic. What do you think the fascination is with it? Is it just because it's easy to do, or
I think it's more of that was the wave.
mm-hmm,
You see what I'm saying? 2.5 years ago. Because,
mm-hmm,
I've said this a long time ago. And, pretty much back then, it was either two things everybody wanted to do. And you kind of touched on this more recently.
mm-hmm,
I feel like most people that's coming in, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like most individuals that's coming into the trucking industry right now, it's like a 50-50 split. Okay, I feel like 50%, and you know it's always variables, but I'm saying 50% I feel like are coming in and trying to get box trucks to run relay. The other 50%, or let's say 40, let's say 40, 40. 40 want to get box trucks to run relay. 40 are trying to come in and run cargo vans. Of course, you got individuals who are moving in the semis. I got a homeboy here in the semi. He was just telling me, like, yeah, you need to go ahead and step up, get in the semi. So, of course, you're going to always have individuals, you know, coming in to run semis. But I think it's like a 40-40 split as far as box trucking and Amazon and the cargo van business. And I've been kind of saying that for a while. I think you touched on it, that you feel like the cargo van business is kind of like superseding box trucking. Wasn't that something you was kind of like touching on a little while ago?
That I think is more opportunity, and I'm just being honest. You know, just from being on YouTube for a year and a half and actually getting to talk to so many people, I think a lot of people that are coming in to this business, I think they should start with the cargo van. I think getting a box truck now in this day and age, it's like advanced. It's like playing Super Mario Brothers and starting at level 8. You know what I'm saying? And never playing the game before. You see what I'm saying?
If you look at some of my old videos, I was preaching the same exact thing. You know, it's lower overhead. You know, in the vans, you're not dealing with DOT pretty much at all.
Right.
You don't have to worry about hours of service, you know, ELD, things of that nature. But some of the certifications, I believe you still don't need a UCR for a Sprinter van. I know when I was in one, you didn't. You needed the BOC3, but you didn't need the UCR.
Right.
So it's certain perks, you know, and I believe it's like a high success rate in the cargo van business. You know, and that's something else I've been telling, you know, people that, you know, you could start out in almost anything. Of course, some contracts require you to probably have what? Like a 17 or newer now, 16 or newer. What they got, like a 7-year. Some companies.
Some companies do, right.
Right. But some companies will take you in a 05, 07. So, you know, you get one of them. I bought 3 vans when I started out. And I think I paid no more than $2,500 a piece.
Who was you running for when you was running your vans? Veterans Distribution?
Yeah, I started with Veterans. Yeah.
How you like them? They tried to give me twice, but the money was never, for me to bring a fleet, it just wasn't worth it, man, to me. They never really paid that good.
And I don't think they really want that. I made good money with them. And I had a pretty good contract that it ran me through like Pontiac up in Fairbury and Bloomington, like, you know, so I had a good contract in my van where I was making like right up under $500 a day. Okay. And I was doing that 4 to 5 days a week.
With Veterans Distribution? The one out in Hillside?
Yeah, and they was telling me, man, you got one of our like prized routes. But yeah, I was doing right up under 500, and this was 19.
Yeah, 2019.
Like, yeah, middle of 19, end of 19.
Who was you dealing with over there? Ed, the Indian guy?
But no, it was, we ain't really get along. But damn, I forget his name.
Don't worry about it. I didn't, just the meetings I took with him, I didn't get along with him in the meetings because they didn't budge.
Oh, I know Ed. Ed was actually who I got along with.
Okay.
Kind of had the little ball spot.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, me and Ed was cool. It was another
the white guy
that was like
the white guy. The older white guy?
White hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it out a few times on the floor. Yeah. So yeah, it was, you know, and then sometimes I come in here, have my route all crazy, shit spread out everywhere. You know, I'm running up because, you know, I was pretty efficient. Like I didn't put some on my. I'm gonna put more, but I didn't put some on my. Man, I used to play Tetris in the back of that van, and a lot of people there compliment me. There, hey, you know, man, how you load like that? But I had done, warehouse work in the past, so it wasn't really nothing for me to load the van like that. But yeah, so I guess I was moving too fast, and I come in some days it'd just be either shit everywhere or it'd be a few pieces I just could not find. And you can't get out of there if you ain't got all the pieces for your route.
Right, right.
So go look here, go look there, find out it's 3-4 doors over under some other boxes that go with somebody else's route. So yeah.
So veterans, because I know they was at the time they was running Staples, and then they had a big liquor distribution contract. So was they
Yeah.
mixing you with liquor and Staples?
I was doing some of everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of everything. That champagne and that liquor pay good.
Yeah.
That's probably one of their most prized possessions.
Yeah, I know.
The paper is heavy. So you make money off a skid of paper, but the champagne and the liquor pay a lot better, and the medical supplies pay good too. Those was some of the routes that I would try to get more often, but them. It was tough getting them, regularly.
Because they had Home Depot, so when I had my warehouse, they gave them all to Home Depot because we was running that for nonstop delivery. And I remember when I forgot veterans, their warehouse must have got super packed, so they stopped doing reverse logistics, and then nonstop just dumped all that shit on me. But that warehouse, like I only had 15,000, 20,000 square feet. Veterans is like 1 million square feet. So when they said, "No, we're not picking up no more Home Depot," they just put everything in my portal, and it just flooded me. But yeah, I'm real. Well, as you can see, I'm real familiar with veterans. I've taken meetings with them, plenty of meetings with them, but I know them. I just never ran with them. It, like you said, I don't think they have their system set up for master contractors. It's more set up for individual contractors.
You see one, maybe two vans for a company. I knew a guy that had 2 vans in there, and that was it. But other than that, you're not gonna do 5, 10, 15 vans. I've never seen that, while I was with them.
Okay. Let's talk about these Amazon rates, man. See, I've never did Amazon. So the rates, man, it just seems like, some people are okay with it. Some people hate it. It's a one-way thing, right? So when you look at the rate, you got to pretty much cut it in half.
Exactly.
What do you do, if you don't mind saying, what do you do that makes you successful, you know what I'm saying, at running Amazon? Because even the rates you posted the other day in the community, I seen critics in there saying, man, this is still garbage. You know what I'm saying?
And you know how that go. I mean, you can't please everybody. So, I mean, it just a little while ago, individuals was running for 260, 270 a mile. Tops. You was lucky to get 315 a mile. So if we looking at $4.50, $5, $5.50 a mile, and a big part of it is, individuals don't really know when to look for lows. And something else, I kind of touched on in the past, I feel like a lot of people are like emotionally like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I sit out here and like I'll pull up at a certain time of night. I won't have a load. I'll look at the board. I try to get a load. If I don't get one, I go to sleep. To me, it's not the end of the world. I ain't burned no fuel. I haven't incurred any maintenance. I haven't expended any energy. Go to sleep. Get up tomorrow, try again. You got 7 days in a week. You see what I'm saying? So if I lose a day or two, because I don't want to book at 2, 3 p.m. and take 310, 315 a mile, because that's what's happening. Individuals book lows early in the day before they mature, and they run those type of lows for months at a time. You could do this stuff for a long period of time and get by. You know, you using this gas card here, you swiping this credit card here, you know, and you getting by running them cheap loads. And then eventually one day you just wake up in the red. Like, damn, you know, I've been running 285 a mile for 3-4 months straight. And now then you got an individual, this shit trash. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's more of people's understanding of the system. You know, most of the quality lows are not going to come out before 6 p.m. A lot of them after 7 and 8 p.m. And yeah, it's not in abundance like it is earlier in the day, but you can get quality lows later, you know, in the evening. It just
You
kind of
think
depends on, you know, how long you want to wait, how much work you want to put in.
so? You think this is the last of the straggling pandemic babies who just can't face the fact that that was a once in a lifetime period and you'll never see those rates again? Or do you think it's new entrants that's complaining that's watching old content, or a combination of both? Because
I
a
think
person
it's
who
yeah,
know
a
trucking,
combination of
right? Because a person who know trucking would know that shit already. Like, you're
right,
not gonna get $10 a mile.
right.
That shit is just, come on. So you think it's a
And I
combination
mean,
of both?
I admit I'm kind of spoiled because when I came in, yeah, man, I was just talking about this earlier today. Like it was a time where I'm not gonna lie to you, like I passed 450, 475 a mile up like it wasn't nothing. I wouldn't even
Mm,
look twice at it. If it
mm,
wasn't 515 or better, I wasn't running it. You know, and another thing, you know, that I kind of attribute to individuals failing is, and you probably didn't dealt with this yourself, you know, people don't listen. You know, you got individuals that will pay thousands of dollars for consultations and courses with 3, 4, 5 different creators,
yeah.
and then go do the exact opposite of what everybody told. They go
Mm-hmm.
run road, you know, and then they come back like, man, I bought this, I bought that, it didn't work, but they do not listen. You know, and I've been through this with mentees, people that I'm trying to talk to in consultations, even
Mm-hmm.
drivers. Like when you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to like drill something in somebody's head and they
Mm-hmm.
just not listening, you know, and then you're taking their money or whatever. So it's like I feel responsible, you know, for you to be successful, but you're not listening. You hard headed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now you and you know, I was talking about this too, you know, because I hear y'all talk about a lot, you know, a lot of, you know, individuals that lost money in the space, you know, with me, and I'm gonna just be, it's hard to give me your money. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I got 5, 10, and I ain't bragging. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I may have individuals watching that are waiting on mentorships and consultation, but bro, I don't just take people money. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I talk to them, kind of see where they head at, you know, because I don't want the problems that come behind the little money that I'm gonna get, you know, for a mentorship. I don't charge a whole bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be more of a headache for me. And I hate to say this, you know, but it's just the truth. You know, sometimes I don't even want the money. So, you know, I avoid it. You know, I might kind of try to see what people's head at, but I probably got 5 to 10 people right now, bro, waiting on services. And first off, I'm just really busy. And then, you
Mm-hmm.
know, also, like I said, it's a commitment,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. I think this is a segue into the next topic I wanted to talk about. Just the whole box truck content creation space. We got 140 people in here across all the platforms. Make sure y'all come in and hit the like button. We got Midwest Box Trucking in the building tonight. His link is in the description, and it's also tagged to the title of the live stream, so you can just click it and make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button as well. So that's a good segue to the next topic I want to talk about. I want to talk about box truck content creation in the space. I think, man, I think this is one of the messiest spaces as far as
It really ain't. It really
you don't
ain't.
think so? But
You
here's
watch
let me tell you.
fitness.
Watch who?
You
Fitness.
follow
Yeah,
like the fitness community.
I follow what's the goofy dark skinned dude? Uh
Cali.
Cali Muscle. And a few other guys. Yeah,
Hey
I
man,
see them.
I don't think this them dudes over there. You got to check them out.
This is what I
Yeah, they
mean by
wild.
messy though. This is what I mean by messy. I ain't talking about like I'm talking about as far as misinformation.
I got you. I got you.
So maybe I should have used a better word. I think this is probably one of the most misleading niches that I see amongst YouTube and Instagram. Somebody actually sent me something, right before we went live because the last two live streams I was talking about the equipment funding because I'm working with a person right now trying to, he made a mistake, but we trying to get him up out of that, and I've been, consulting him and corresponding with Top Mark and North Mill and trying to kind of get him up out that situation, at least consult him up out of that situation. And somebody sent me something like, man, look at this, and it's a chick on Instagram pushing people in that direction. A chick who probably never been in trucking, you know what I'm saying? So I see people that come to trucking, especially box trucking, to try to find a way to monetize and enrich themselves. And what they
Right.
do is they put out a lot of misinformation, and people follow that misinformation, and it just leads them down a dark path that ultimately just screws them up, and
Right.
they have no chance of succeeding. So that's what I'm talking about. Is that something that you see as well? Because you was on YouTube about a year before me.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, man. During that time, you had individuals that were starting trucking companies just to create a channel. I've heard that over 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start a trucking company and create a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, it was crazy. It was a lot different. I'm gonna tell you,
Mm-hmm.
like I've had individuals send me money. I ain't know where it came from. Like
Mm-hmm.
this happened a few times. Where does money come from? Then
Mm-hmm.
3 days later, hey, yeah, I sent you such and such for such and such. My name's That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's crazy. And it created a lot of confusion. So you had subscribers doing stuff like that's what I'm saying. It wasn't all the creators.
Mm-hmm.
I think the creators did have a part in it. You did
Mm-hmm.
have opportunists who took advantage of aspiring business owners, box truck business owners, whatever you want to call it. But I'm telling you, it was money floating around. It was a lot of weird stuff, bro. A few times where did this money come from? And I don't
Yeah.
want it because I don't want to be
Right.
liable for somebody, I don't want nobody come. Thankfully, I haven't been accused of that because I haven't
Mm-hmm.
taken anything from anybody. But, I didn't never want that. Man, I sent this and, I didn't get this. I have had individuals that, hey, you didn't move quick enough on my consultation. Can you send my $50 back? Here you go.
Right.
It's $50. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I've had that happen, but as far as any altercations over somebody, no, I didn't. I never had. But yeah, you had plenty of opportunists that were running around taking advantage of individuals, but you also had individuals that were being negligent. I'm not just sending somebody some money
Mm-hmm.
without ever speaking to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do that. But
Do you think what's your thoughts on, because this is something I know we talk about a lot, like on the Wise Men, and I talk about it, and the reason why I talk about it so much is because it's like you get new people, new subscribers coming in, so you just kind of got to retouch on things. What's your stance? Because you've been in the business, you were in the business prior to the pandemic. So what's your stance on charging someone for something, whether it be a mentorship or whether it be a coaching session, and you're still learning, you're a novice yourself? What's your thoughts
You
on
know,
that?
see, that go right back into my point. Like, people have criticized me for saying your price is too cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm not charging you what an expert would charge you. So that's why my prices were what they were. I don't believe in, I didn't feel comfortable, taking, I don't want to say no numbers because people got numbers that they charge for certain stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
ain't, but the point I'm making is I wasn't trying to charge nobody thousands of dollars for nothing
Mm-hmm.
because of exactly what you said. I'm not an expert. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still learning myself. When I
Mm-hmm.
came in and started making content, I think I had been in business a little over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't consider myself an expert.
Okay.
That's why I set my prices to what they were. And then,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, you start doing it and you like, maybe I should be charging 15, because yeah, sometimes I touched on that. I've been woke up out of my sleep, at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Like, people that once they give you that money, you liable if something going wrong or so that's why I'm like, yeah, it's just I didn't feel like, I should be charging people an arm and a leg for services.
It's like you
Because
obligated. It's like you obligated, especially if you paying. Because I heard some people was charging 10. I said it was a guy that was charging 20. We're talking about 1,000 now. You know what
right,
I'm saying? So
right,
for mentorships and people were paying it,
right,
and a lot of people, a majority of people that came in during that time period, they failed. Now you can attribute that to misinformation and just being misled or whatever the case, but majority of new business owners fail anyway. I just think that was just a time
right.
where it was a lot of people that just were naive and they were running with a wave and they didn't do the
Exactly.
proper uh uh due diligence. But like you said, the consumer who's looking to consume information, even if they're purchasing it, they got to do a level of due diligence, when they're going out to hire what would be deemed a consultant. You know what I'm saying? So, it, like
Exactly.
you said, it do falls on both sides of the coin. So,
It does. I think it's both. And then too, 2.5 years ago, it was easy to survive, even in a rental.
mm,
All the rates was 430, 450, $5 a mile.
mm,
Beloit, Wisconsin was banging back then. Like, it was other spots that were open. So, you could make a lot of money. You could come in a truck and, work your way around that learning curve and be making money in a month and a half, 2 months, you
mm,
know. And then, like you said, everything started to change. And you had to put a little more thought into, you know, how you were going to get those type of loads. And then it's just progressively, even, I'll be honest, I get, loads over $4 and $5 a mile still. I mean, I show them,
mm,
but I'll tell you, the lows are starting, 150, 175 a mile. They do take longer to increase. You be
mm,
sitting there looking at that shit all day long. It'd be 12 to 6. And sometimes them lows, they sit up there for, and I was just talking to somebody about that. I'm like, when I go on the board and everything on there say $1.85 or less, I get off. I
mm,
go do something else. I come back later. Those lows that I was looking at might even be gone, but it'll be more on there.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? So some people sit and flick that board for 10 hours a day to get a load that probably don't pay no more than, like I say, 315, 350 a mile.
mm,
So, it's it is rough. I will say that, and it has changed. You know, a while back, you didn't see stuff hit the board for less than 225, 250 a mile. You know, so I was telling somebody like, can you run for $1 a mile? Because pretty much that's what we headed. That's where they're gonna be starting. You know, you're gonna have to know what you're doing to get certain type of rates.
What's the because I know Amazon is slowly filtering their own 26 footers into the mix, and then they got DSPs that are running the final mile leg. They're giving them the opportunity to buy these relay routes.
Right.
In your honest opinion, because you're there, you see it. I've seen it. I've had Amazon people, give me this information. You know what I'm saying? Corporate Amazon people, give me this information. Do you see Amazon transitioning the relay load board out and just running that particular lane the same way they run DSP and AFP eventually?
For the most part.
You do?
Yep. I mean, look how many trucks they buy. Look at all of the Amazon logistics. Everybody see it. And then they got them dudes doing 7, 8. Man, I ran up on a dude. He was in there. He was pissed off. You know, I'm like, you good? Man, hell no. I'm like, what happened? My fucking boss didn't schedule me 7. My boss didn't schedule me 7, 8 stops, But he's saying our score bad. We got to take what we could get. So it's falling back, everything rolling downhill. So because they score bad, probably because of the driver or a driver, now they're taking 7 and 8 stops, to compensate. And this particular dude may not have been a DSP guy. I think he may have just been a regular driver. But they got them DSP guys doing 7, 8 stops. They got them going 300 miles. So, and what I'm starting to see is now Amazon's changing our routes into those type of routes. I've spoke on that where, I did a 6-stop run one time, when I started relay over 2.5 years ago. And I said I would never do one again. I did one like last week, 2 weeks ago. So that's how stuff has changed. You're going to have to come out of your comfort zone. You may have to do an extra stop or 2.
So, because they paying, so the way DSP, they running it just like they run the van. I knew about it last year. I did a video about it last year. I'm not an Amazon relay guy. I just got the information from someone from corporate that hit me in a DM and gave me the layout. That's how I was able to put the video out. I was kind of waiting for one of y'all Amazon people to put it out, but I mean, it's a year later now. So with that being said, and I'm glad, I could speak to someone that does it, that actually sees that, because I've had this debate over and over and over and over again. Like, you can see the writing on the wall. Amazon does things very cyclical.
It's not even really a debate. Amazon told people probably 6 months to a year ago that they were moving away from the load board. They told all of us that they are trying to move away from the load board into contracts, DSP, and they're encouraging individuals to book contracts.
So let me ask you this, and I'm keeping it funky with you. If that's the case, why haven't none of y'all Amazon content creators put that information out? So that, because you got a lot of people, just this week alone, I probably got 4 or 5 people that hit me up about Amazon. I'm like, I don't do it. But since me and you have met formal now, anything that I get for Amazon, as far as people who want to book consultation, I'm just going to forward them to you. Okay, because I don't do it.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
And I get a lot. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot. So you can charge them what you want. I'm just going to hit them with your link. Whoop, send them your way. But don't you think it would be good to put that information out so when people are looking online, they can have, because imagine a person going out, spending an arm and a leg to get set up to think they're going to do Amazon. They got to wait their 180 days. They get in Amazon. They run it for 3 months. And then February 2025, we got DSPs running it now. So either you got $25,000, you can buy one of these routes. If not, then you need to go apply for one of these companies.
Did you hear a date? You say February 2025. What, you know something?
No, I'm just, speculating. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just speculating. But what I'm saying is, if you know the information, why not put that information out? Because that information may save somebody down the line from investing.
I thought that information was public.
No.
That's why I haven't touched on it.
If it was public, I wouldn't be having these debates. People telling me Amazon will never get rid of Relay. Listen to me.
They're not saying they're getting rid of it totally. What they're saying is they're trying to move away from using it for the most part. I think it will always be leftover loads that'll trickle down either to the Relay load board or DAT.
See, somebody in here saying it now. And not to cut you off, the reason why I can say this is because Amazon has a history of repeating themselves. I don't know how long. Well, you've been in the business since 2019, but I don't know if you can remember back mid 2010s, Amazon contract delivery were always in white vans. Before the prime vans, before what you see now, the same way you see Relay now, DSP was similar to that back in the day. I applied for a DSP. It took them 3 years to contact me, but I know how the system works because I got a chance to go through the onboarding. And then once Amazon, as they continue to grow and they realize, look, we can't trust that these deliveries are going to get done when we need them to get done. We're trying to push the envelope on 2 days. We're trying to go next day, eventually going same day. We got to control this without taking the risk of controlling it, which in 2018, they restructured it, got rid of all the white vans because you'll see some of them white vans pull up with spray paint on the side of them, raggedy, tore up, you know what I'm saying? And then they just bought their own fleet, hire Element to manage it, right, for them, sell you the route, right, and then charge you on the back end for everything, but then they're kind of micromanaging everything and they're making it seem like you your own boss, but really you like a high-paid middle manager if you own that contract, right? They did the same thing with AFP. So with all the, stuff that I've seen, because I follow it, I said eventually I see them taking Relay that route as well. Me personally, I don't see them investing in all these trucks, and like somebody saying like, they don't, Amazon isn't, what they say, hold on. Oh, they might have deleted it. Something about Amazon, man, I've seen crazy shit like Amazon ain't gonna want to pay all the fuel and they're not paying the fuel. You know what I'm saying? Or they have a fuel surcharge, but Amazon, I don't think people understand the makeup of Amazon, how Amazon makes its money. Amazon makes a shit ton of money off the subscription, first of all. And then off the items that you're delivering, the Amazon seller is paying 30%. So Amazon is making money hand over fist so that these deliveries ain't really costing them shit. Like that money that they're absorbing to make these deliveries ain't shit. They're making their money off the subscription and the sellers.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say this, but I feel like the cheap freight buying them trucks.
You think? But see, here's the thing. Amazon put an order in for 1,100 self-driving trucks 2 or 3 years ago. So those trucks are set to be delivered next year. These Rivian trucks, they steady ordering about hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying? So these box trucks, they ordering so many of them, they getting them at wholesale. You're talking about a company that got over $1 trillion market cap. This money is nothing. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm asking you is, do you think the right thing for an Amazon content creator to do? Because you said you thought the information was out. It's not out. A lot of people think they can come into Amazon and they think they're going to run for Amazon the rest of their life and they're going to be able to pass that route down to their kid And I just don't see Relay lasting another 5 years. I don't see it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I believe that it'll always be lows available, but I don't think to the extent we seeing.
So
Right? I
what's your
mean,
plan?
I'm already moving into different stuff, and then I ain't gonna lie to you, I probably got 2 more years before I completely shift into some other stuff that I'm working, which I'm gonna talk about on the channel.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I never planned to be in trucking forever. I may throw a driver in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just bought a truck, but that was just kind of the cut overhead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people ask me about that rentals, and that's something you don't see as much of now. When I roll into Amazon, you don't see as many rental trucks, as you used to. It
Mm-hmm.
was damn near 50-50 a while back. But, now you may see 3 or 4 here and there, but yeah, you could tell that, the rental's really not feasible right now.
Mm. Well, shit, a lot of people fell off. Shit, it's probably the capacity. It probably ain't that many owner operators running Amazon as it was during the pandemic. A lot of those people that was coming in there with them rental trucks during the pandemic, those was a lot of the fly by night people.
Right, exactly.
Them was the fly by night people. The only people that's probably surviving right there is the people who really know how to move their trucks.
Right, yeah. And yeah,
Um,
a lot of individuals, they came in, they had high overhead, bought expensive trucks. Like, I had people ask me, like, why you still in a rental? Why you, what, shit, trucks 80, 90,000.
mm,
I'm not going to invest in a truck, that's that expensive. So once I seen them drop into the 50s and 40s, then I figured it was time to kind of, I damn near wish I could have waited longer, because now I believe you can get them for under 40.
man, we was looking at trucks for 13, 20, 25,000. I saw a Hinu for like 28,000.
Right,
So yeah, they
right.
cheap now.
So,
They damn near giving them away. They definitely pre-pandemic levels. I'm talking about pre-pandemic. I'm talking about 2016, 2017 prices.
right, right.
So,
So,
you know, so yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely a good time uh to buy a truck. Shit, what you guys you got some questions for me? I don't want this to be a one-sided dialogue.
Um, one thing I was thinking, because I know you said with your what you had like a moving company and
A moving company, a final mile company. Yep.
a final mile company. And you said
Mm-hmm.
the reason why you kind of got out the game was because what you was having kind of like trouble with drivers,
So
retaining drivers.
when the pandemic hit, we shut down for those couple of weeks, right? And then when Lori Lightfoot deemed whatever industries were essential and non-essential, once we was deemed essential, shit, the people who came back, those are the people who I worked.
Right.
So, but,
Right.
I had people that was working that was getting unemployment in full fact. Come on, we in Chicago, bro. So,
Right.
the hustle and the scamming was real, and just, even with the people that was working, these guys went from being reliable and dependable guys to being rich guys overnight
Right.
and
Exactly.
not being dependable anymore, right? So, at my peak, I was at 15 trucks. My warehouse is right over there over east.
Oh
So
yeah.
my warehouse was over east, right in the hood. So I had a lot of people from the hood working for me. In 2018, I saw a trend that with the gig economy. I saw the gig economy coming up in 2018, and that opened my eyes. 2018 is when I set my exit date for 2025. The pandemic allowed me to move it up to October of 2022. I was going to go to December last year, but I exited in October of 2022 last year because I was able to sell trucks at an appreciated value, which, if you know business, that never happens. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I took advantage, right? And I prayed that I was making the right decision. And by the grace of God, I did. Because if I would have held on, you know what I'm saying, I would be screwed right now. So I took the opportunity, took the money, and ran. Moving and final mile is labor intensive, and that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? In 2010, when I got started, none of this gig shit existed. You know, anybody that was getting out the joint, I could have them work for me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't mind doing heavy lifting. You see what I'm saying? And it was easy for me. I didn't have to go look for nobody. You see what I'm saying? People would just refer. Man, 2018, 2019, it became difficult to hire people. Pandemic came around. Now, try to get somebody to carry a refrigerator up 3 flights of stairs at the magnitude of operation that I was running. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I was used to running like 1 or 2 or 3 trucks, then, you know, yeah, but running as many trucks as I was running and making the money that I had already made, I just took advantage of the opportunity because I knew it wouldn't come around again. And I just said, man, this is retirement. So, and that's why I got out. Yep. That's why I got out.
I got you. But if you had, say you had more stable, reliable help, would you have kept going?
I would have rode it to 2025. 2025, I was out anyway. Right. You see what I'm saying? 2025, I was out anyway. So yeah, if I had more reliable help, yeah, I would have rode it to 2025. Yep, no question.
I got you. Yep. So what you do? Did you sell your trucks or
sell the trucks? Because selling the business is just something I knew wasn't going to happen, right? Not at that time, and trying to shop it. So it was just better just to sell the assets, take the money, and just go like that. I still got 2 trucks. I held on to 2 trucks just in case because I didn't know. I think at that time, nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? So in 2020, you know, the pandemic hit, March. By the end of 2020, I had already made up in my mind, look, I'm going to work the rest of the next 2 years because they were saying like 3 years. So I'm like, skip it. I'm going to work all next year. I'm going to work all 2022, and I'm going to try to step away at the end of 2022. But by that time, the market, as far as the demand for trucks, skyrocketed, right? Because there was no new trucks being manufactured. So one of my homegirls, actually my ex, she was looking for a car, and that was made me realize that there was no new cars, and that the demand for the used cars was through the roof. So that's when I started looking into the trucks. I never looked into the trucks because I was too busy back on the truck myself working during the pandemic. I had to come back out. So I'm doing moves, but then I'm looking at trucks. I'm looking at trucks that's 10 years old. They selling them for $70,000 to $80,000. So I listed a truck, and the rest is history. So I got out in October, and I ain't looked back. You know what I'm saying? So I still got 2 trucks. I kept 2 trucks as an insurance policy because I didn't know. Like, I never lived through a pandemic, so I didn't know what to expect. So I kept 2 as a insurance policy, but man, them trucks is just sitting right now, man. I don't even jump start them. I don't even start them. One on a flat tire, so I'm probably just gonna end up selling them and just moving on, man. You know what I'm saying? But yep, that's how I exited.
I got you.
Yep. But yeah, the warehouse is still over there over east. It's vacant now, and probably some of the contracts, some of the companies you ran for, I ran through. I ran through Dynamics out there, and it was in Wooddale when we was running for them. Now it's in Addison. XPO, the one out in Bolingbrook. We was running for Select back in the day.
I talked to Select. I know you talk about T-Force. I talked to T-Force. I think it was a guy named like Michael, something that guy that I met, but I never actually did any work with him.
Yeah, so T-Force, a bunch of companies. The Delivery Authority out in Naperville. Don't Shoot the Messenger. Never heard of them? Yeah, no. So Don't Shoot the Messenger, Delivery Authority. Yeah, so a lot of the local independents. But once I became my own 3PL, when I was cross-docking, then that's when I stopped dealing with 3PLs. Once I got the opportunity to get the freight to come to me, then we were just running the freight straight from my warehouse. But now that's a whole nother story, because what I didn't realize and what they didn't tell me is, you know, you don't get paid like how you get paid when you a contractor. So a lot of the money, I didn't see a lot of the money. It would be months before I would see a lot of that money. So I was kind of, the moving company was kind of floating that company. And that was like the last couple of years going into the pandemic. And then when the pandemic hit, it was just pretty much moving and then retirement. So, yep. So man, let's talk about, man, because I know everybody want to know, man. You put that video out yesterday. This Kirk situation. Well, me and Kirk, I know we kind of did our sparring, but you know, I don't take shit personal. You know, sometimes I do push the envelope. Like I did a live stream last Friday about Amazon, purposely to push the envelope because I wanted to see the rates. Because the people who I look to for Amazon, y'all wasn't nobody posting nothing. So I did that to kind of spark interest.
I heard what you said.
You did?
That's why I posted those rates, because I saw, and I'm like, you know, I saw how you were looking at the rates, and you never gonna see anything worthwhile, kind of the way you was looking at them.
Yeah. So I know, and I knew I was going to get some flack, and I did get flack, but it was mostly satire. The people that caught it. You know what I'm saying? The satire in it, but I wanted for y'all to post the rate. So like our little feud, you know, I didn't really, to me, it was just some sparring to me. You know, I didn't take nothing from it, man. I don't think you took nothing from it either.
Like I said, I don't take none of it personal, you know, and it just kind of is what it is, you know. Like I touched on Kirk live, and I know you saw the live that he did, the first one. And I think you popped up like later on during that live.
You talking about the first one after you did the first video?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because this was right after the Wiseman had got cut off, and I think Kirk wasn't talking to me at that time. Is that when I kind of popped up?
I believe so. I don't know the exact situation because I don't catch everything. I miss a lot. Like I might get somebody hit me. Something happened a few days ago. I ain't catch it. But I did see your live stream after that. You know, well, you kind of touched on it, but yeah, I miss a lot. So I might hear it on the back end, but yeah.
So he did a live stream, but the live stream he did, it rubbed you the wrong way. That was a response to yours. Because most of your video was about me. You only touched on him for a brief second.
Yeah, that's your man's. You know, I had to get Kurt. You know.
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah, but it you know, I don't know. I think Kurt can, and that's what I kind of touched on. He could take shit a little too far. I say that. And then some of the things that he say about, like, you know, it ain't so much towards me, because like I said, I don't take it personal. But you know, when you go into, you know, people, family and shit like that, I don't know. I think you getting kind of a little too personal. You know what I mean? I mean, what you think about that?
You speaking as far as the other creator he spoke on, right? I think the reason why he took it that far is because if you saw that video, the other person, he put something on him.
I saw that.
I don't want to say what it was because I don't, you know, YouTube algorithm, but it started with a P. I only watched the video first or something when he talked about the sister wives or whatever. So that's kind of what I think took Kirk to that next level. That's kind of something.
See, I don't exactly know what you referring to. I might have missed some of it.
And I think I missed it, but people have told me, you know what I'm saying? So, because I only watched the video once, and I didn't really entertain it. It is what it is. Me and him, you've been following the content. Me and him had whatever we had last year. I'm not gonna go back and forth with someone we already did that. You dig what I'm saying? So I think that's what kind of pushed Kirk to go to that next level. Then Kirk is Jamaican, so I mean that doesn't excuse anything, but he's kind of feisty. I think that situation between them two, I think at this point it just is what it is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
it's not for me to really decide.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But he made the video, which I felt he kind of went a little hard. So, I have been meaning to respond. And that was just kind of when I got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just really what it was. I saw his video. I saw a few videos where he kind of made references, not just to me, but to other individuals, in the space. And I think Kurt kind of touches on, content creators more often than not. I mean, you see a lot of his content. I feel like a lot of it does, surround other content creators.
So when I started creating content and I discovered Kirk's channel, from what I see, that's what his channel has been like. I mean, his channel has always been, calling people out. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what he does. Now I know that because we do a lot of collaborations, I know I'm gonna catch some of the shrapnel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna catch some of the, the guilty by association stuff. And I'm okay with that. And the reason why is because I think the information he puts out as far as, the space is golden. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I don't mind catching some of the shrapnel for being associated with him as long as what he's doing for the greater good, he's doing something for the greater good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna hurt anybody. I do think, he can push the envelope. But he's ever since I met him, and even watching the content before I met him, that's just what he does, man. That's just what he does. I can handle myself. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's just what he does. You know what I'm saying? He's big on, he's big on, people putting out information that lack the experience. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of grown on me too, because I've had, and see, a lot of things people don't see because I do a lot of stuff for people behind the scenes that, I don't talk about and that people don't know about, and some things I can't talk about. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that I've done behind the scenes that I've had to clean up and fix for people that have went through other people, right, in the space that have sent them down the wrong path. And then I've had to come in and kind of turn their business around. And I'm doing this pro bono. So when Kurt hears things and he gets those stories and people come to him crying and they showing him shit, he takes it to heart too. And I think he expresses his frustration towards just the misinformation in the space and his content. And that's just honestly, that's just what I think. Now, as far as the other individual, I don't think that's the issue there. I think that issue started with partials, like I think a lot of the stuff between you and him and motivation got to do with the partials.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Up until that's how I found out about Kirk, and I can't make it up. Probably, I want to say 4 to 6 months ago. I really
Mm-hmm.
caught on to Kirk. I really didn't know who he was. And I
Mm-hmm.
had somebody talking to me about like going over the road, and he sent me his content. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, check this dude out. He talk about partials.
Mm-hmm.
So that was how I first ever watched any of Kirk's content. I've seen his face, but I had never actually watched any of his content or, knew exactly who he was until he
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like referred to me. And, I give him that. As
Mm-hmm.
far as what he does with partials, that's a gift. I
Mm-hmm.
give him that. If I was OTR and I was looking to I would holler at him about partials.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the other stuff I just don't agree with. I ain't
What,
gonna
like,
take what was it?
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna take nothing away from him as far as what I've, from what I've watched. First off, to be able to put 4 and 5 partials together, like I said, that's a gift. But then to be able to, I really load, unload, do so to keep that stuff organized and to drop it in the correct order without incident, it ain't easy,
Mm-hmm.
just from start to finish. So, I've told other individuals like, hey, you might, if you over the road and you struggling, you might want to learn how to partial. So I'm not taking anything away from them on that end. My thing is he's rarely ever touching on partials. To me, from what I see,
Okay.
when is the last time you heard Kirk make a video about partials?
Uh, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I think, and that's something we talked about earlier today. I think the content has kind of drifted, and when I found myself drifting, I kind of snatched myself back and kind of get back to it. But I think the content, is kind of drifted. You know what I'm saying? We went through just different phases, and like I ain't gonna lie to you. We gonna put it all out. I think that video that came out that day, uh, for motivation, I think that kind of it just came from nowhere. You see what I'm saying?
It
But
did. It did.
you know what I'm saying? It kind of
Yeah.
came from nowhere, and I think that just kind of I just think it just caught everybody by surprise. Um, and we did a live stream later that day. Um, that probably wasn't a good idea. Uh, and I think from there it's just been, I don't even want to say war, but we just been in it, into it with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think
Left.
the wise
Say
men,
when it rained, it pours, huh?
yeah. But see me, man, I'm from the crib, so me, I it's whatever. Some people I'm gonna respond to, some people ain't. You was one of the ones I responded to. If I respond to you, then I got respect for you. If I don't respond for you, if I don't respond to you, then I just feel like you ain't worth responding to. If I respond to you, then yeah, I feel like you got some type of value for me to warrant me, you know what I'm saying, to go back and forth with you. I think because it just ain't with those situations, man. We just it just seemed like when the Wiseman podcast came, and then it kind of like it just seemed like, man, we just been getting hit back and forth, which is fine to me. You know what I'm saying?
But I
Because I
mean,
feel like
y'all was kind of shaking the space though. Y'all did a few things, and I mean, I I
we
I
did.
see. Go ahead.
No, I said we did. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Right. So I mean, it just, I don't know. To me, it just kind of, it come with the territory. What I do want to ask you is, what do you think the actual issue with you and motivation and Kurt and motivation is?
I don't got no issue with motivation. I think motivation got an issue with me. I can't have an issue with somebody that I really don't know that lives far, far away from me. You know what I'm saying? So my issue, and I'm gonna keep it a bean. When we had our back and forth, When his wife responded, notice I never responded. You know, she said in the video that Cruz is done with it. I thought I was done. He said what he said. He called me a charlatan. I did a live stream that night. I pulled the crown out. I already had the crown. I had been bought the crown on Amazon because I knew one day he was going.
Okay, you talking about from
yeah. So
back.
I just had it sitting because I knew. I just knew he couldn't control. I said, man, he gonna be an issue. Let me go and find this crown. Let me buy this crown and let me just keep this crown on ice. So when he did the live stream that day, I already had the crown on ice. It was just sitting in the box. So then he did his live stream. I used to come on at 8. I did my live stream. And then 2 days later, his wife put out the video of me. And he said he was done with it. But she said, man, I just can't control myself. Y'all gonna call me petty or whatever. I can't remember verbatim. But once his wife stepped in front of him, to me, it wasn't no need to respond no more. I'm not gonna go back. Me personally, I'm not gonna go back and forth with nobody's wife. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, if me and you ain't doing it, she stepping in front of you, then shit. It ain't nothing for me to respond to. Cause I could look at it like, well, shit, she's stepping in front of you, or I could be going back and forth with somebody's wife. Me, I'm gonna look at it like shit. Ain't no chick I'm dating finna step in front of me if I'm sparring with another guy. You see what I'm saying? But I left it alone. I never responded. He threw a few more little jabs at me, like around Thanksgiving and Christmas last year. Never responded. Him and Kurt got into it. He took a hiatus, came back, made content. Then out of the blue, he did that video. It was more focused on Kurt. He threw shots at me and Vic and the box truck couple, but I didn't respond to that either. You know what I'm saying? To me, whatever we had, it was squashed last year. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not finna go back and forth. You rehashing shit for what? You see what I'm saying? So I'm not finna respond because we did that already. Whatever grievance you had. Whatever grievance I had, we haven't had any type of clashes to warrant. So it is what it is. He could diss me until he blue in the face. I ain't got no responses for him because it's unwarranted. It don't even make sense. Now him and Kirk, I think it goes back to around that time too. In regards to partials, I think it was some partial videos, if I'm mistaken, that they put out. Kirk is, real, adamant about him, when he educates people on partials, and he feels like when it comes to partials, he's him. So they kind of went back and forth to partials. Kirk did a live stream one Sunday earlier this year, and then after that live stream, they took a hiatus. Now, the video that he put out about a month ago, I feel like, it was one part that, a lot of people agree that just was unwarranted. And I don't want to talk about what that part, if you watch the video, I just think that was unwarranted. A lot of people think that was unwarranted. So I think,
on who part?
On Kirk. He said about Kirk, I think it was unwarranted, and I think, it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that shit wasn't cool. So, and I think that's what ultimately took Kirk to the next level. It's just certain things. If you say certain things or you do certain things, it's just game on. You can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of think that's what, got Kirk to the point where he's like, the gloves is off. So it is what it is. Me and Motivation situation wasn't that serious. Motivation's big thing with me was always showing receipts. His whole thing is receipts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not finna show nobody my money and, and all this, that, and the third. So since then, I've showed, my taxes. I've showed taxes and some other things, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to show it because you telling me what I got to do. I'm going to purposely not do it. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I'm educating somebody on something and the situation warrants me pulling something out, then I'll do it. But to come up here to prove something to somebody because you demanding it, that's not what I'm going to do. Like, I've been creating content in the space for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that got any common sense knows that with the information I put out, I know what I'm talking about. I've done it. You know, yeah, it's unfortunate that I'm not doing it currently, so I can't take you on a ride along, but 13 and a half years is still 13 and a half years. So the information I'm putting out is changing people's lives, is steering people in the right direction. I'm not finna go showing people my bank accounts. I'm not finna go showing people old manifest and BOLs. I got all that shit. You see what I'm saying? And I show it when it deems fit, but I'm not going to do it just because someone is demanding me to do it. And that's where I think me and Cruz's whole situation started from, and then from there it just never got any better. So nothing serious, just
Right.
so but you know,
Yeah.
I don't yeah, as far as their situation, you know, it's, you know, some things have been said on both ends. So
Right. Right. I got you. I got you. And something else that I kind of wanted to ask you, you know, because you touched on like you started. Did you start in 2010?
I
Yo,
started in
yo.
2010. Started
Right.
in 2010
Right.
off of Craigslist, and I had a Chevy Avalanche, and I would
Right.
just do odds and ends jobs off of Craigslist. Yep.
Okay. So how do you think, or what do you think some of the changes are like today in trucking, or box trucking more specifically? Because you was in pretty much, well, you started in the Avalanche and then you moved into like the box
Box
trucks.
trucks, right?
I
So
got you.
one of the main things that's changed is the rates are still the same. I say this all the time. What I was getting back then, not in the moving is moving scales with the economy, right? Because you're dealing straight with the consumer, right? So you can raise your rates based on labor costs and shit like that, right? Fuel, things like that, right? But with the final mile, a lot of the rates that people are getting now, we was getting in. We was getting 600 a route back then. It's people doing bobs now getting 600 a route. What's changed is everything around it. So everything that you need to do your business has went up. When I first
Right.
started running trucks, shit, we would get a 16 footer for 200, 225 a week, 10 cents a mile. The insurance was $5 for the supplementary, $5 for the liability. So $10 a day for insurance, $225 for the week, 10 cents a mile, and they'll give you 500 free miles for a 16 footer and 1,000 free miles for a 26 footer. 26 footer was what, 475, 450, 475 a week, 12 to 15 cents a mile, depending on when you start your contract. The longer you keep it, it'll go down. And then the same for the insurance. Now, you know, the rental trucks are higher, fuel is higher, insurance is a lot higher, everything is higher, but the rates are still the same. So I think that's one of the main reasons that a lot of people are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that, labor is a major issue. You know, back then, you know, you can find people easy. There was no gig economy back then.
Right.
But now it's a gig economy, and the mindset of people have shifted. People, this whole boss culture, it didn't exist back then. People didn't mind going and applying for a job and working for another person. Now everybody wants to be their own boss. So even if you get somebody to work for you, that's only going to be for a short period of time because it's
Or they're
embedded
gonna
in
try
their
to
head.
run your company. Because I've had probably 5 to 7 drivers now, a couple loaders, and as you can see at this point, I pretty much do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed it'll seem easier to have drivers, but I had times where it wasn't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not only like I said, did I get calls in the middle of the night from sometime mentees but also drivers. Pull to the post office, don't want to follow procedures because they pull up at 3. The drop off time say 5, so they decide to call and wake me up. You know, when such and such pulled up at the post office, they say that we could leave and get a back leg back. And I'm like, what the drop off time say? So, yeah, for me, drivers was almost more of a headache than just doing it myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I found myself plenty times like, you know, I just come out better in the truck on my own. Because not only are you, I was, this is crazy, but I was hollering at, you know, one of my homeboys, and he kind of into real estate. And he was just explaining to me the difference between buying and flipping and rent, you know, because we was kind of talking about renting and some different stuff, but he was telling me about what he would call squatters. You know, individuals who are and at this point I didn't know exactly what it was. And I'm like, so what's a squatter? Well, individuals that come in, they pay 2 months rent, and then once they get in your place, now they stop paying rent, cuss you out, you know, this, that, and the other. And legally, you really can't do nothing about it. So by the time you get them out of your place, you know, it's all tore up. And I'm like, man, now that you kind of describing to me what they are, that sound like drivers. You know, they come in, tell you all this good stuff. You know, they could drive and do this and do that. You know, next thing you know, they scraping the truck up, you know, hitting bridges, like, you know, they tear up your equipment, then they leave the truck in the middle of nowhere, tell you F you and get up out of there. So I'm like, damn, it's like a correlation, you know. And I was telling them that I'm like, it sounds like you describing drivers to me right now, you know. So yeah, that's kind of why I just try to do everything on my own right now for the time being. And I flirt with the idea, but no, I had some bad experiences.
You know, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't do it like build, and me personally, because I don't want people to take this, and if that their dream is to scale, you know, I don't want to, you know, deter them. But if I had to do it all over again, because I've been there, I know what it's like. Me personally, I would just be independent. You know, my OG, she's so happy that I'm not there anymore at that space, at that warehouse over there, because, you know, just a lot of the stress I would have to go through. I know what it's like to have a roof peeled back like a sardine can. You know what I'm saying? I know what that's like, dealing with a multitude of individuals, different personalities. You know, bro, you know, I had to have an enforcer up there. You know, I'm dealing with different members, you know, I got foes, I got moles, I got folks, you know what I'm saying? And they doing labor intensive work. So now you got all this testosterone on a truck. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, just the culture, man. Here, you know, I had to literally have somebody up there to enforce law so that I could continue to get the money coming in, because I just don't have time to be dealing with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I look back on the years of building, and then even with the building, to start in your pickup truck and then to scale to a rental truck, to 2 rental trucks, to 3 rental trucks, to then start buying trucks. And then you look up, boom, I got to park these trucks, because I'm parking these trucks on my mama block. Now the old lady on the corner calling the police, they ticketing the truck. So now I got to go find somewhere to park the trucks. I found somewhere to park the trucks in the neighborhood, which is ultimately where the warehouse was, and we ended up taking over that warehouse. And then, you know, the people who were with me from the early days of the rental trucks to me buying trucks and transforming into 2 legitimate businesses, now that's why the jealousy started coming in. So then I went through that phase. So then when you go through the jealousy phase, when you up and running, now I got an office and the warehouse, right? So now the real jealousy, now I'm starting to hear this, man, we making you rich, and man, you need to pay me to come to work, and you should give us bus cards, and they start counting your money. So, you know, when I look back on all the phases of my growth, I wouldn't want to go through that shit no more, dog. I
Right.
wouldn't want to go through that shit no more. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's because I'm 43 now. You see what I'm saying? I don't have the patience. When I was 30, young, ambitious, with nothing, no money, you know what I'm saying? Living at the crib, you know what I'm saying? That ambition is what drove me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I made a way. So I don't have that ambition to do that. If I was to do it all over again, I wouldn't be able to do that, bro. I wouldn't be able to deal with those personalities, man. So I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. And
Yeah.
like I even shifted. One time I said, well, skip it, man. I'm finna start hiring Hispanics. Man, that's a whole nother story. You know, they'll come in and man, I'll say that for another day, man. I think you know where I'm going, man. So yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with people anymore. That's why now when I dive into different business ventures, I look to do things that don't require people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you know, I try to do things that don't require people because I feel like in today's times, people just aren't reliable.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, everybody a boss. So
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
hard to, you know, kind of work with people. And then, I had people that I brought in, they didn't know nothing. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Nothing. I mean, literally didn't know how to back a truck up to the dock. And then
Mm-hmm.
took excessively long to learn, 2, 3 months type deals.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they learn, what you think happened after that? They get cocky. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm gonna drive for you, you know, these days of the week, and I'm gonna drive for him the other. But I trained you. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? When you came to me, you didn't even know what air brakes was, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But so it was kind of like, I don't know.
I
I would say
I would put all my guys on contracts. That's one thing I did. If you working for me and I'm sending you to a company, then it's a no compete. So you're not
right,
gonna come in here and learn the industry for 3 months and then try to go off and do it on your own because it costs time and it costs money to train you. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So
And see, that's what I was. See, when you knew, you don't know.
mm-hmm,
So I was new to hiring employees, and I'm just
mm-hmm,
going on Indeed, putting out ads. I get 30, 40 people, go through them, interview 10. I
mm-hmm,
might do 10 interviews at a time, bring
mm-hmm,
on 3 or 4, because, I was always taught that, you want to hire 3 or 4 people at a time,
mm-hmm.
because two probably going to fall off. And that's what
Right.
I dealt with a lot of the times. You bring in
Mm-hmm,
4 people, you end up with 1 or 2.
mm-hmm,
And the 1 or 2 might just be barely making it,
mm-hmm,
but they at least showing up.
mm-hmm.
Or you get individuals. I had individuals that show up every day, but they 10 minutes late,
Mm-hmm.
so they killing my score. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then you once I start making policies and procedures, I start having problems. Just put it like that. And you should
What
have
kind of
that.
problems?
Uh, and I kind of did it the wrong way. I brought people in and I dealt with the issues that I'm telling you about. People being late, smoking in the truck. I don't care if you smoke cigarettes, but get out the truck,
Right.
and smoke. Don't smoke in my truck. Leave ashes. So every day I get in the truck to drive, I'm dumping ashes out,
Mm-hmm.
come back, it's ashes again, So it was like a multitude of different issues that I was going through with
Mm-hmm.
different people. It wasn't even the same people.
Mm-hmm.
One person would have one issue, and then I had one really good guy, and then just a tragic situation. His daughter's mom got in like a head-on collision in her car and passed away. So he ended up being like the custodial parent. And yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of lost him to that situation. So after him, I was just like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was
Mm-hmm.
tired of going through the motions of, hiring and letting people go. But like I said, yeah, I had a couple people that I brought them in, and I didn't have like policies and procedures set up. And
Mm-hmm.
after dealing with different issues, like, I had a person get back to where we were parking the truck at a particular truck stop, and just was tripping one morning. I can't find a spot. What I'm supposed to do? Like, she was acting like she was just gonna leave the truck in the middle of the truck lot. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, you just deal with a lot of different stuff. People have their days. You don't never know what they're going through. So yeah, you gotta kind of, and then it's like you gotta almost have like people management skills. That's why I say, like, a lot of people want to jump out, start a trucking company. They don't ever want to get in the truck. Man, drivers gonna run you ragged
I tell people
because,
all the time.
yeah, by the time they run game on you, and then like I say, you know, I get the truck back. It got a scrape. I had a truck with a really, a pretty good scrape across the roof. And I knew who did it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And it was a rental truck. So the whole time it didn't go through.
It
But the
didn't.
whole time I had the truck, I was worried that when I took it back, they was gonna tax me for a roof.
So
And yeah,
yeah, with the rental
luckily,
trucks. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, luckily, I was cool with the rental lady, and
Mm-hmm.
they see stuff like that all the time. So from what she told me, if it wasn't through the paint and
Mm-hmm.
like through the
Mm-hmm.
body, then it didn't even, they get scrapes and stuff. But I'm just looking up from the inside of the box, like, am I gonna have to pay for this?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like from front to back.
Oh, well,
So
you got lucky then, because they hit me
exactly.
for a roof before back in the day.
Right.
It wasn't pretty.
Man, no, I worried about it for like 2, 3 months, and I damn near thought the driver had did it on purpose because once again I was having issues with the
Mm-hmm.
particular driver.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You argue with these drivers, they purposely scraping your truck up against the tree limbs and driving all crazy. I had another driver, she was a really good driver, but she drove too fast.
Mm.
Like excessively too fast.
This was
She
all
could
during the pandemic.
This was probably a year and a half ago. It was all with Amazon. Yep.
Okay.
Because that's what I
Okay.
was hiring people for, Amazon. And yeah, it just bad experience after bad experience. So I got to where I just got tired of it. I still got lists of people names from when I was going through like setting up interviews. And what I do, I set up like 5 people to come meet me at the truck stop and like meet and greet, talk to them, kind of take them in, do a load with them, kind of see how they work out. And
Mm.
yeah, I had I've been through a lot of different issues with employees. That's why I
Yeah,
kind of
man.
stay away from it now.
Yeah, you gotta put them on contracts, and you gotta make them sign non-competes, man. As a small business owner, what I learned throughout the years, like I put people on contract. Listen, I'm not paying
Yep.
for nothing.
Right.
I'm not paying for nothing. You dig what I'm saying? Because I train you, you know what I'm saying? You can't come in here and be negligent. The wrong accident will put you out of business.
Exactly. Like that
So
roof. Yeah.
see, what a lot of people don't know is when you rent a commercial truck, what they don't tell you is that if you're renting a commercial truck as a business and not as a household, any damage to the top 2 inches of the truck, it's on you. Even with
They
a lot of
saying
your
6
insurance
now.
companies.
The top
6.
6.
So it's the top 6 now? Okay.
Yep.
So even with your commercial insurance, some of these commercial insurances,
Won't cover it.
they won't cover it because
Nah.
you are a professional driver. If you're driving a truck, you're a professional driver. So you're supposed to know better. They consider that driver negligence, which
Right.
means you weren't looking at the clearance. You weren't paying attention. They're not going to cover it. So I
Right.
got that bill for $15,000 because he went, so my yard is over east, so he would take South Chicago up, supposed to make that left on 75th because 75th is a truck route.
Right.
Goofball made the left on 76 in
Oh,
South
it's a bunch of
Chicago.
low bridges over there.
Yep. And
You
he
up?
hit that low bridge right there on 76 is 11. 75th
Yeah.
is 13.5 or 13.6, some shit like that. So he made the left on 76, peeled the whole top of the truck back. And you know what another thing is? When the police and shit came, they was telling me, you better hope there ain't no structural damage to the bridge, because the city
Right.
or whoever owned that bridge, whether it was Union Pacific or BNSF, one of them, I forget if it was the city or one of the lines, if there's any structural damage, they gonna send me the bill for it. He said it could be like a hairline fracture. Like when he hit it, if he cracked it, because it's a train, you know what I'm saying? So they got to make sure it's up to code so that the damn thing don't collapse or whatever. They was like, man, it could be a hairline fracture. We've sent out bills for hairline fractures for $25,000. So, you know, that was my first time. So I'm worried about the roof. Now I'm worried about the damn bridge, because I'm like, whatever this damage to this bridge going to be way worse than the bill that Penske gonna give me. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, this the city of Chicago. So yeah, they didn't hit me with a bill for the bridge, but Penske hit me for a bill for $15,000 for that roof.
Damn.
Yeah, so you know, he peeled it back, and just like you said, like you never know what a person going through, you know, and this is a route he would take every day. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, it just so happened that morning his wife told him she wanted, or she was filing for a divorce.
Yeah, it could be anything.
So he came into work with that shit on his mind, and a route that he takes every day, just one bad mistake, the whole roof tore off. So now, you know, and they was on their way out to T-Force to do an IKEA run. So, you know, the money was lost. You know, I got a call, and that was in a rental truck. It's just, you know, it's just a lot of shit you got to go through that I just don't think a lot of people know, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, when you scale this trucking business, man, yeah, it's rough. Every day you're going to be faced with some type of obstacle or some type of challenge. So it is what it is.
You see some of these dudes operating these trucks, and you know, they ain't stopping, slowing down for speed bumps. They turning the corners all crazy. It ain't they trucks. You know, you think they own the operators, but they actually be drivers. Yeah. And they just running people equipment in the ground, you know. Yeah. And you wonder why you having maintenance events, you know, 2-3 times a month. Because I was telling somebody, you could run through a set of brakes on one of them box trucks in a week if you drive it wrong. Man, just come to hard stops for a day straight and seat on the start squeaking. Just violent stops for a day straight. See how it work out for you.
Man, so the trucking repair place I go to is this place on Indianapolis Boulevard, Jaime's Truck Repair. And I remember telling Jaime, like, damn, what type of brakes you putting on my truck? It seemed like, man, these trucks is needing brakes every two. Mark, it's your drivers. It's your drivers.
It's the driver. It's the driver.
Yeah. It's the drivers, man.
My first 2 weeks in a box truck, I made the brakes squeak. I did. I had a driver do it in 1 week. So it's easy. Like I say, if you just rough stops for a few days and now they squeaking, they'll squeak for a month. Now you need new brakes. You know, first they squeak a little, then they squeak a lot. Now you need a, you know, so yeah, it's easy to tear these trucks up.
Yeah, and real easy.
Especially when you're not in them and you don't know what people doing. So yeah.
So let me ask you this, because Kirk texted me. Would you be willing to have a conversation with Kirk?
I mean, yeah, I'll let Kirk. Bring him up.
Because I want to you know, for the new year, I just want to go into the new year with a clean slate, man. I don't want no problems with nobody, man. And
you sure, Mark? Because you say that now, you might be on that.
But see, here's the thing. For
the new year.
Here's the thing. I only respond to people who I feel like talking to me. So, like, here's the thing. When your video, the one thing that I only, it's one thing that you talked about with me that I regret. I regret it. I do regret it. I regret doing that live stream
with the
about Vic.
ski mask.
About Vic. I regret that. I regret that. Yeah, I regret it. I regret it. I regret that. You know, but I just feel like it was not.
But see, that's the thing, and I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Like, and I talk to other people. Like when people think that, man, I talk to other people about the space. You
Mhm.
know, that was actually one of your greatest moments. But at the same time, it was because I've heard that, like, man, that shit was funny. Man, I died when he was sitting there. And I died when I saw it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, too, it's kind of like, you know, the I don't know, I don't know how to put it, but it was funny, but at the same
Mhm.
time, it was kind of like a little extreme.
Yeah.
I'll put it there.
Yeah. I wanted to add some humor to it, but I just feel like I had already made my point. I feel like I probably shouldn't have did the video. So I do agree with you on that. Now everything else, you know what I'm saying, is fair game. Anybody that I feel like is tapping at me, I might respond. I just might respond, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going out looking for trouble. I'm not an
Right,
agitator. You see what I'm saying? I'm not an
right,
agitator. And I know that when I do content, sometimes the content does rub some people the wrong way, but I don't think they get it. And Kirk, I see you in the back. Give me a second. I don't think they get it. My content transformed a lot from when I first started doing content because it was boring. You know what I'm saying? It was boring and I had to liven it up. So I had to seek uh help as far as livening the content up because it's educational, and when you educating people it can be redundant and boring, you know what I'm
right,
saying? So I wanted to spruce it up, so and that's what I'm doing now. Some people say that, okay man, Mark, we get it, but you could be a little bit arrogant. I don't feel like it's arrogance. I feel like it's confidence, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when I get up here, I'm telling you from a person who's seen success. So when I tell you something, yeah, man, I'm gonna be real confident and cocky with it because the information I got, I know it's golden and I'm giving it to you for free. Only thing you got to do is listen. You know what I'm saying? I may throw a little jab here and a little jab there, but a lot of the times where I throw the jabs, I'm just throwing them. I don't even have people in mind. You know what I'm saying? I might say,
right,
I'm the most experienced in the space, and that right there in comparison to a lot of people that's in the space is true, but really that's just me being edgy to, keep the audience engaged. But really I don't be meaning no harm when I do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. But we got Kurt, man. We got Kurt. Hold on, let me see. 3 people, 2 people, 3 people. Let me see. Let me add him here. No, let me add. Hey, Kurt, call back. I hung you up by mistake. Kurt, call back. I gotta add you to the other one. I pressed the wrong button. Let me add Kurt to one. Oh,
Sup,
Kurt,
Mark?
what up? What up?
Sup,
You
man?
got
Morning.
got
What's up,
got me.
Midwest?
What's going on, Kirk? How you feel?
Man, man. I'm just jumping in, man. You
You
know what I
like my
mean?
video?
Work, work, work. You know what I mean? My
he
last day
said
at work.
he said you like his video, Kurt.
Oh man, I got respect for you, man. you know, I oh man. I tell you this though, you got my wife cracking up, man. You got my wife cracking up, man. You start trouble in my house. I can tell you that much.
Hey,
Oh man. She said, she said, for once somebody got it right. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know that's the word on the street, right, Kirk? They say that's
but but it's kind of one of those things where if you know, you know. You know what I mean? But but it's. I mean, I listen to a lot of the stuff you say, man. And I got a lot of respect for you because it seems like everybody's scared of me. And some of the things that some of the things I do, I
Hold
I I I intentionally do it to get a reaction. You see what I'm saying?
You think people scared of you,
Because
Kurt?
at the end of the day, it's content. You
I
see what I'm
told you
saying?
he the box truck boogeyman.
The Mark was wondering where you get that from. You get what I'm saying?
I never
No, I
heard that
made that
before.
up, but you
Oh.
like, I call out all the YouTubers. I'm like, that's the box truck boogeyman.
Right. So, I think like Mark was saying, I'm very passionate about the information, and this is why me and Mark, when we get together and collaborate and was feeding the information to people and talking about the business and the way you talk about it, you talk about the frustration with trying to tell people how to come in the business the right way, but they still go off and do their own thing, and it's that frustration. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't think people really understand that when you're really truly passionate about something and the way you view it versus the way they view it, um, it's gonna be a clash because you are seeing the result and you're getting the result that you put the time and effort in, and when you try to transfer that over to someone, it's
Yeah.
kind of like people want to water it down. You get what I'm saying? And that's why me and these content creators always get into it. It's like I put the work in, I put the time in. We're giving information, but then here you come with this water message. No time, no effort. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
And leading people into a state of comfortability when truth to be told, people don't have to work hard to make a lot of money. You just got to be smart. You see what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of content creator, my frustration with them in the space is instead of putting in the time and the effort and the work, it's like everybody just water it down, take advantage of people, but then at the same time want to be on the same level as everybody else. You see what I'm saying?
So what you saying? You saying it's jealousy in the space?
It is jealousy in the space, but it's more so of it's jealousy, it's competition. See, I know what I know, you know what you know, Mark know what he knows. Everybody knows what they know, right? But I think that listen, subscribers are gonna love their who they subscribe to regardless. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? We can we're not like the stock market. If I could trade subscribers and we could trade around and you know what I mean, benefit from it, we would, right? But if a subscriber look at an older person and they think me and you ain't old enough to tell them anything, they're not gonna subscribe to us. You 39, Mark 43, me 43. If they want to take advice from an older guy, ain't nothing me gonna convince them of.
Well, here's the thing. I think you have people that identify with different people. If you look at Box Truck Couple, a lot of their audience is older. When I look at their videos and I see the people in the comment, I don't recognize any people. I don't recognize any of my subscribers. When you see them post up with subscribers, when they run into them, it be older people for the most part. You see what I'm saying? So I think people follow who they can identify with. An older person is not going to identify with me. You see what I'm saying? Because the way I present my content, the verbiage I use is catered to a certain demographic and a certain age demographic. Somebody probably from 21 to maybe about 45, maybe 50. You see what I'm saying? But like a lot of those 60-some-year-old subscribers, older 50s, they go into them. You see what I'm saying? I think Midwest has his audience. I think I got my audience. I think you got your audience. I think Cruz has his audience. Some people that just do Amazon, they may not watch you or they may not watch me, even though I speak on Final Mile, but I also speak on just business in general. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like my content can touch a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you how to run and what to do and what not to do as far as your business in general. But if they don't see that thumbnail that got Amazon on it, they'll never look and give me a chance to see what value my content may have. So I think people just subscribe to and consume information from who they identify with the best. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to touch on something you say because me and Mark talk about this. I do push the envelope, but a lot of times when I do make content, um it's never it's some of the time I'm not even talking about content creator, to be honest with you. I think the bluntness of my content um rub a lot of people the wrong way. You get what I'm saying? Because I know I'm harsh in the way I come off. You get what I'm saying? And I know I rub people the wrong way. We talk about this all the time. You know what I mean? But I think most of my content, when I talk about certain subject, I'm aiming at a particular set of people that I've either experienced them, or okay. Just like I would say, a lot of people won't book a consultation with me and you, right? They won't do it with me, you, and Mark. They'll watch the content. They'll love us. They'll watch us all day long. But they'll go out and sign a ridiculous contract because in their mind they feel they don't value us to sit down and have a one-on-one, but they'll value us to sit down and take the information because in their mind it's free information. So why pay us? But then they'll sign their life away and a $400,000-$500,000 equipment that they'll never be able to pay off. Then they'll come back and try to get us to fix it. So when I make content and I go off and call people stupid, goofy, you crazy as hell, you know why I can say those stuff? Because them same individual that go in and add a content creator platform because I refuse to answer their phone call. Because I refuse to stop listening to their nonsense. You see what I'm saying? Because I refuse to stop give them the time. Because like you said early on, they ain't going nowhere. You understand? But I reach a point now where, I mean, I go back with the motivation issue, me and motivation have a running. I've, Mark and motivation got a running. I try to come in between both of them and try to rectify it. You get what I'm saying? And from there, it just went downhill. I think with him being the type of person he is, he he'll say stuff because in the last video, we're not gonna say it because you know what I mean. But in the last video, he says something which I literally can easily take him to court and win a lawsuit off of what he says. But I think when motivation says stuff, you get what I'm saying? And I know people gonna say, well, you shouldn't be offended, but because you the extreme guy, why are you offended? You get what I'm saying? The prob I never mentioned what he said. The thing is when you bring it up and said that when I started going to certain areas and calling people's wife and so forth, you get what I'm saying? And like Mark was just telling you, it's gloves off. With him,
right? And then I miss a lot of the content. I'm gonna just be honest. I ain't up here BSing y'all. It's certain stuff I don't see. And even more that I may not even hear about. So
right.
I don't know the gist of
him,
everything.
with him and me, I was gonna go back again and do a repeat of what I did the first time to him. You get what I'm saying? And people have begged me. You know what I mean? People have asked me, you gotta react to this. Cause one thing Mark will tell you I'm good at, I'll pull your video up and I'll use it. And I'll damage your character. You get what I'm saying? And the last time me and Motivation get into it, I've known so much about Motivation that I don't think he know I have so much dirt on him that he don't even know I have those stuff on him. You get what I'm saying? That would really embarrass him on the internet as a content creator, just like a lot of other content creator, but I just don't do it. You see what I'm saying? But when I see you, right, and I said, okay, because I watched some of your videos, and your problem with me is you got an issue with me talking about the mileage, right?
You said the mileage?
The cost, when I was talking about the cost per mile and the rate for the load, right? When I was telling people to take like when I was saying you got to take $1.50, like for instance, you got to take $1.50 and bill your cost per mile.
It was a couple people that were it wasn't just you. I don't even think I was direct. But see, that's how, wires could get crossed. It wasn't, I don't even think I was directly referring to you. Because it was actually somebody else that was kind of encouraging people that it was okay to run for, I don't know, less than $1.75 a mile.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I ain't agree with it. But no, I don't. That wasn't even about you.
So where did your smoke come in for us then? Because we thought that was definitely about. Well, I thought you was talking about Kirk. Now, when you was riding, what was that, a Grand National or Regal?
Regal.
When you was riding in that Regal, I know that was about me. At the
Oh,
end.
well, I was talking about the hope and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, where did the whole Kirk thing come in at then?
Kirk kind of just got involved in it with me and the video that I kind of made about you. I think that's where it kind of, because I'm going to be honest with you, man. For the most part, I stay away from, a lot of the drama in the space. Like, I ain't really ever been in, too much. I had I may have made a video or two in the past, but nothing really major. So it's just kind of with me, like, and I'm going back to that because I feel like, my best content is not, involving other creators. I'm gonna just be straight with you. My videos that I make about Amazon and, my daily whatever do a whole lot better than, videos that I make about other creators. So for me, I feel like I don't even need to, make those type of videos.
Right. Yeah, and one other thing, so I take shots at you and I go off the whole entire Amazon because, like Mark said, Amazon is what trigger a lot of content creator like you. So when I use that, of course, I'm gonna use the whole OP thing, and then I'm saying that you guys are clown because you ain't making no money. You get what I'm saying? Because again, you did it yesterday. You get what I'm saying? Which is
Right.
the video. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's just like a lot of things that I say, and I was talking to Mark about this, and me and my wife was talking about this. Even if I say something about my wife, people on the internet take it serious. They upset about it. But my wife be laughing. You see what I'm saying? But people don't know that it's content.
So people get
Okay, you
upset
say
at you for stuff you say about your wife.
right, right. They're mad because because she understand the content. You see what I'm
I think
saying?
I
So
think what Kirk
when I said when I was doing the wise man, and I said if my wife left me, she would be a benefit to me. People take that to heart. But me and my wife ain't going nowhere.
I think with Kirk, a lot of people, it's other things that he say that may rub people the wrong way, and then they just throw that shit into the pot. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, his whole FBA, the war he got going on with the FBA, anything he say that they can just add to use to just, come back at him, they'll just use it. I don't think people really care about his at home situation, so to speak. I mean, Kirk just pushes the envelope with people. So I can understand why, he may rub people the wrong way. I can kind of understand, because like even with the video you did, was a guy that was in your comments that said, man, Kirk and Mark, all they do is sit up there and hate on box trucking. And I'm looking at this shit like,
I saw that.
So you mean to tell me 3 nights a week I sit here for 2 to 4 hours and just hate, with an average of 100 people just watch me sit here and hate? You sure it ain't help? And I just look at certain things. I think people just, I just think sometimes you can say things, or you could just do things, or you can present the content in a way which just may rub some people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Or some people just may not like you as an individual for whatever reason, because anybody that watches me knows that, how can I hate on the industry that made me?
Right.
Why would I sit up here 3 nights a week and just, man, box trucking ain't shit, man. It's the worst shit y'all could ever do. Why would y'all even want to do? Like, those words have never came out my mouth. So people just put shit on you because they just don't like you for whatever reason. And that's just something that just comes along with, creating content, man. So, man, it is what it is, man. But it's good that we could sit up here and talk about it, and it not be no hard feelings, and it's content, man. It's not the type of content that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? But people, like, I don't know why you felt that when I was saying hope pushers, I wasn't talking about you. Like, you, here's another thing. You was thinking into it, like, you giving me credit. You give me too much credit, to be honest with you. That guy on that thumbnail, listen, the guy who makes my thumbnails is in Russia. I said, look, man, this is the title, man. Throw me a drug dealer on there, man. And this is the title. You talk about, man, this guy looks like me, and the man with a box truck shorty chain.
But some of that shit was comedy, man.
It was satire. Okay, I get it.
It's no way I could look at a thumbnail and prove a guy in a mask is me.
But when you put it up, I'm like, damn, I see how he can sit.
When I initially saw it, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm looking at the thumbnail, and then box truck shorty, he got a bigger chain now.
Right.
But back then he wore the long joint.
Right.
So I seen it. Yeah. Was that a chain he had on?
Yeah, it was a chain.
Right. Was a chain. So I saw the chain. I'm like, something don't look right about this picture.
Yeah. I'm like, man, this man said him with a box truck shorty chain. I'm like, man, he tweaking. That hope dealer shit, that wasn't even. That was just one of those videos that, now it is hope dealers out here, but most of the hope dealers that I was referring to, I couldn't even tell you their name. It just be random shit. Subscribers DM me, like the subscriber who DM me a Instagram reel right before the live stream, or some chick telling people to go get equipment leasing, financing to buy their box truck when they new into the space. And all week I've been speaking against it. And I've been giving proof for why people shouldn't do it. So when I look at some pretty chick who I know never drove a box truck, ain't never got their hands dirty, ain't never did shit, and you want to sit up here and just take some general information that you pulled so you can get your likes up and tell people to go sign their life away to the devil, those are the hope pushers that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people that, are giving information. There may be content creators that are more active that I may disagree with some of the information that they may be giving. But when I was speaking to hope pushers, I'm talking about people who selling hope. You know what I'm saying? Selling hope with no information, because people Listen, and I know you've seen it. People have bought into that hope with no plan, just the hope. And then when they spent their money, got into it off that hope because people telling them, yeah, you can make it. Man, the trucking is an $875 billion a year. So people just taking that basic general information and they thinking they can't go no wrong. And those are the people that fail because they being sold as hope. Those are the people that I was talking to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
nah,
definitely. I don't. I feel like with me personally, I always been straight with everybody. I push hard work. So to me, it ain't a hope thing. If you come out here and think you gonna, hope your way into some money, it's not gonna happen like that. You're gonna have to put in some work. Something that you talk about, you're gonna have to you gonna sacrifice something. Whether it's time with family, you gonna sacrifice something to be out here, especially if you really out here. Now if you come in, another thing too, I think a lot of individuals, they because you say that why people quit. I think a lot of people quit prematurely. They didn't even actually fail. It just got uncomfortable and they quit. You know, just like a muscle, you could train a muscle to failure, or you could train it to hurt a little bit and then stop. I think that's what a lot of people in the space, did. When it got a little uncomfortable, when stuff didn't make as much sense, they quit. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think everybody even failed. We even saw some people in the space like that. I had to spend $300 of my own money this week. I'm done. So
Right. You think
and
a lot of people, so basically what they thought it was gonna be easy?
exactly. And YouTube could have gave them that idea,
Man, YouTube definitely
but
gave them that idea.
yeah, I mean,
Right.
but at the same time, I would have to question the person that was, consuming the content to, I haven't heard anybody ever tell anybody it was easy. Now I've heard people say that you could make this amount of money or that amount of money, but I haven't actually heard anybody say that it was easy. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember anybody ever just ask, "Oh, it's easy." People do say, "Yeah, you could make a lot of money," or used to say, "You could make a whole lot of money," but I wouldn't say easy.
I don't nobody have ever said the word easy, but I think the formula that was presented to people was
Yeah, I think
presented in
people
a,
made it look easy.
yeah, they
I agree with
presented in
that.
an
I think
easier
people made
way.
it look easy, but
Right.
I don't think anybody ever just blatantly said, "Oh, it's easy to make a bunch of money." I think a lot of people got, because I was talking to somebody today, and myself included, why I entered the space. I asked somebody else that, and they agreed it was for the money. A lot of people entered for the money, but once they got in, they didn't want to do the work. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I look at it. Like YouTube may have gave a certain perception, but for you to watch these videos and think that you gonna come in and you not gonna have to put in any work, or like I said, make any type of sacrifices, spend any of your own money, like you playing yourself.
Right.
So you think it's better now? You think since the since the storm, I wouldn't even call it a storm. I guess the storm came through and kind of weeded out a lot of the bad actors with what you see in the space now, which is it's not many in the space. Um, as far as consistency is concerned, do you think the content that's coming out now in the space for YouTube? I don't even pay attention to Instagram. Instagram ain't nothing but a bunch of, you definitely gonna get misled if you trying to consume content on
Yeah, I don't
Instagram.
even know what's going on over there to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So
But with YouTube, do you think the space as far as the content that's been putting out, it's better in comparison to, let's say, maybe 2 years ago, height of the pandemic, 2021?
Yeah, I yeah, I would say that. And like I said, I'm gonna just be real. It was a bunch of opportunists around during that time. It was a bunch of money being thrown around. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so what is that gonna bring? Opportunists.
Mm-hmm.
People that want to make money. Like I said, it was literally individuals that were starting trucking companies to make a YouTube channel. And I gotta, and then like I say, the subscribers, they be the real savages because you know I got people that come to me that didn't Google like 2 3 different content creators, DOTs, and they not the people you would think. And some of them authorities not even active no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 3 people I can name right now where a subscriber came to me and was like, hey, such and such DOT. I looked it up. It's not even active. Like, no wonder they not making content. So you
Mm.
got content creators who at this point, they don't even have active authorities.
Yeah, so that's part. Yeah, why they not making content? So they came in
Exactly.
just to make the content. But that goes back to what I was saying because they was creating content as far as information, and it was misleading people. It was misleading
Right.
people, man. Some of the stories that I hear, when people reach out to me, man, it's just disheartening. Like some of the stuff, because I'm pretty sure you hear it. Somebody was following them that may still be hanging in there, and then they'll find your channel, and then you're presenting content and information that's on a total different side of the spectrum from the information that they were consuming in 2021 from whatever creator that was in the space that's no longer here. And it could be some
Right.
of the simplest, easiest stuff that you would think everyone would know, and they were misled on that. So it just, to me, it just be a little disheartening. Sometimes I'm similar to Kurt. I may not go as hard as Kurt, but then that just puts a fire on me, and then that's what I'll talk about. Like this week, I've been talking about, he might be in here, but he gave me permission to equipment financing. Man, just looking at his deal, man, that shit don't even make no sense. But he admitted, like, man, I came in and I was a part of the hype. There's no way I would allow anybody that asked me to sign no deal like that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And
So it's unfortunate.
mhm. Yeah, I had individuals ask me why I stayed in the rental so long. That was why. I ain't want to end up in a, you know, 100,000. I know people that spent 130,000, on trucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
Box
was,
trucks.
it was
yeah,
bad.
Box truck.
box truck. I know somebody got a brand new Mac. I think he paid 130, 140.
Is he still running?
Yep, brand new Mac truck.
He must be OTI.
Nope, he running Amazon.
He running
Now I don't
Amazon?
know what he do on the side, but yeah, the last time I bumped into him, he was running Amazon.
That's
Yep.
a big ass note. That's about a
So
$4,000 a month note.
I couldn't believe it when he told me. I actually was like, what? I think it $130, $140, brand new.
right,
Damn.
and see, that's the thing that I'm that I talk about, that people will come to me prior to buying those type of truck in the pandemic, and then when you advise them, they will still go ahead. And then when you watch my content and I tell them what to do with it, people look at me like I'm crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. When I say those things, you get what I'm saying? I have a reason why I'm saying it. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure you probably you watch my live and see what I told people to do with those overpriced truck. Because again, there's no way I would be able to sustain running my truck the way they're running their truck and be able to survive. So um it's one of those things where we just got to give people the information and just keep focused on just saving who we can save. I believe that majority of the people want to be saved, want to know, want to do the right thing. But there's a couple of the people that just, no matter what you tell them, they're gonna do whatever they want to do. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
And that's
I
what you
talk
were
about
saying.
partial.
I'm talking to people that's back then, 2 years,
Hmm.
they on their third and fourth they just spending money, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, well, and I'm just being honest. I'm like, well, why are you here if you talk to three other people and you bought a course already? And they just, sampling information. And then,
Hmm.
like you said, eventually turn around and just go do something totally different. Like when I came in, I started off like, and I've spoke on it, in the past, but I like started off watching Demetrius B.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
He was kind of who influenced me to, move into box trucks. And I can remember on the live stream, somebody was asking him, so yeah, what you running for right now? $4 a mile. He like, no, we doing 6. This is what he said. So when I came into, the box truck space, I tried to get $5, $6 a mile. You know, it was another guy I watched, it was 2 people when I started. The
Mm-hmm.
second guy was Africa, a lover of engines. And I kind
Mm-hmm.
of watched Demetrius beat. Look, why you smile when I say that, Mark?
Cause Kurt, I think him and Kurt, and didn't you throw a
Yeah,
shot at him or something?
I throw a little fire at him one time because he did a live stream where no, he posted a video where he knew the rate because he accidentally get the rate con, the actual rate that was being paid to the shipper, and find out that they were lowballing him, and I burned fire at him because he still took the load even though he found those information out. You see what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
So I kind of like go at him for that. I don't think he's from Chicago like you guys. I think he moved from North Carolina to Chicago over
I
there.
don't think he from up here. I did watch one of his videos. He was downstate picking up a load, but you could kind of tell it's Chicago when they talk. I
Yeah,
don't I don't I don't
Yeah.
I don't I don't
yeah.
I don't
So I,
think he
I,
from
I
here.
talk about
No,
him
I
and
don't
I
think
talk
so.
about a lot of people, but I want to ask you a question, right? Because I've seen the video you make yesterday and the other video, and I'm trying to figure out, and me and Mark talk about this, the Wise Man podcast, right? You seems to be one of the people that are angry with me about leaving the Wise Man podcast. What are you feeling at that? Give me your thoughts on that.
Man, I'm not angry. It like I said, I don't know. People talk, but
Right.
let's be real, Kurt. Like the video was kind of, you know, it was kind of comical. How does anybody really know what's going on in your household? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was more a joke more than anything. But
Mhm.
you know, it just kind of is what it is. But like I said, it's nothing personal as far as me and you. And I'm not invested one way or another if you are on the podcast or not.
Right.
It's just kind of like, that's kind of between y'all.
It,
So,
it, it's just a talking point that you use
right.
in the
It's just
video.
talking shit, pretty
Right.
much, which somebody did say your wife, she put you on timeout. But I mean, that's not my business, that and yeah, it's,
She
it's
told
it's
me
not my business. So,
she,
Hey
she
man,
told me
who you be talking to? Cause whoever you be talking to, Kirk must be talking to him too, and they playing
bro, I
both
got
sides
some
of the
sort.
fence.
I got some sources close to y'all, man. Y'all, I might be the one getting some of them consultations. That might be my people that I'm sending over there to talk to y'all.
But then they
You
definitely
might think you
talking.
doing a consultation. You talking to my people.
See, they talking to you then, Kirk. They ain't talking to me. Cause see, I don't talk to nobody. I talk
He
to
said,
2 people, and that's it. And I
oh
don't really
man.
do I don't really do. See me, I don't even do consultations like that.
"No,
I get
I'm
so much.
joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking, but yeah, I do. It is. I'm gonna say this. It is subscribers that know 3 and 4 YouTubers. Let's just say that, and I'm gonna leave it
I,
at that.
I
It's
already
a
know
few
who we
of them.
talking about. I know one of them,
It's a
because
few of them.
he done bought something from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He done bought something from every single body.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the ones that you talking about.
I'm just telling you, it's subscribers
He
that know what.
he
And I even say, I be like, how you know all? How did you get cool with all the YouTubers? Like all of them.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know.
I ain't one of them though, am I? I ain't one of them because I don't talk to nobody.
No, I
I
don't
can't
think
be.
so.
I know I ain't one of them. See, I be
Right.
I
telling
don't
you,
think
Kurt,
so.
you gotta stop being buddy.
Right.
Look, Kurt
I
thinking now.
yeah, he thinking. I
Thinking.
told him. I said, Kurt, one of these subscribers you talk to him. I
So
said, I'm
wait, hold
telling
on,
you,
now. Hold on. So what you said is his wife did put him off the show. Is that
nah,
Kurt?
nah.
Kurt,
Nah,
did your
nah,
wife
nah.
make you leave the show?
See,
Let's get
see,
to the bottom
listen.
of it, Kurt.
See, check this out. Check this out. My wife don't like this.
Right.
You
Don't
get
like
what I'm
what?
saying? My wife have a high respect for Mark,
Mm-hmm.
and she watches Mark all
Mm-hmm.
the time. You see what I'm saying? She met Mark. We rock together. This all me and you on motivation and the whole content thing, she don't
It's
like that
messy.
stuff. You
Right.
get what I'm
No,
saying?
that's
She
understandable.
believes that we need to stick to what the purpose of us really being on YouTube for. You see what I'm saying? And I know sometimes things get edgy and get off, go off course, but she's not the type of person that's gonna say, I got a choice. You know, her stance now is either y'all gonna do this to continue to do what y'all do for people, or y'all just gonna be just turn off the camera. You get what I'm saying? Because she's big on business. She and Mark is kind of like the same, because we talk about this all the time with Mark. You get what I'm saying? Um, she watched your video and she called me last night and I'm telling you, like, she just at the end of she laughing and talking about what you said and poking jokes and all that. She said, y'all really need to get back to business though. All jokes aside. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And
And
I think too that's kind of, the sentiment of the space,
mhm.
you know, 50-50, because I think a lot of people, they do thrive off like controversy and drama. But I
Right,
think at the
right,
same,
right.
yeah, but a lot of people do. It's just, but then at the same time, I think it's individuals that do come to the space for, you know, desperate for information. And
Mhm.
I'm just being straight, like, they don't,
Yeah,
I don't know. So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's
No,
like a
I feel you
50-50.
on that. And it's just like me and Mark, going back to the wise man. Um, there are certain subject that Mark brought to me, and he's like, "Look, I'm going to talk about this tonight. What are your feelings?" You get what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with content creator. It's just the whole subject, and I'm like, "No, don't do it." And then I would bring to him, let's talk about this tonight. And he's like, "Nah, I don't think we should talk about this." You get what I'm saying? So we we do mindful of what we say. But I think go back to the video that Motivation put out a few weeks ago, it kind of just story everything up. And get what I'm saying? And then cause I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be straight up with you. What Motivation is doing is not, I've done that before. You see what I'm saying? He ain't doing nothing that I've never done. You get what I'm saying? But I think moving forward, I think people would like to see us. And Mark would tell you, he would agree. Some of the things he do that he regret now, I told him
Who
not to do it.
who me? Well,
You get what I'm saying? So again, he look back and he's like, "Yeah, man, you're right. I should have just." You get what I'm saying? Because you said it. You said it in your video about Mark. You get what I'm saying? That Mark is in a space giving information, but then he's doing this. You get what I'm saying? And then I would tell Mark, "Don't do it." but Mark is Mark.
I
He gonna do it
I
anyway.
said kind of that I felt like Mark was kind of contradicting himself
Right,
because he
right,
does say, it's educational, he and but this what I'm gonna tell you. A lot of the stuff that a lot of your viewpoints, Mark, I agree with. I
Mm-hmm.
battled, the same way you said I think somebody came to you about your content. My brother came to me about mine. And
Mm-hmm.
he like, bro, you make good content. He like, but you gotta stop sitting in front of that fucking picture like Malcolm X, like, and I'm like, but it's education, it's box truck. He like, but people want to be entertained even when they don't know they want to be entertained.
Right.
This is how he put it to me. He like, it's
Mm-hmm.
2023 and you on YouTube. So
Mm-hmm.
this is back when I started like editing videos. Man, it was a time where I didn't do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just put the video up and I didn't edit nothing. If I walked in somewhere, you saw me walk in there. It wasn't no edits, no nothing. It was all, you know. So I started to you could look back probably 15, 20 videos ago,
Mm-hmm.
where I started to kind of change up. And because, yeah, it was a period of time where I just put the videos out. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter to me because I wasn't really trying to be, really big in the space. It started as, and I think that was with a lot of people. It started as people, just documenting their journey. And back then, you immediately start getting pressure to have a course, do mentorships, do
Mm-hmm.
consultations, so that kind of put a lot of people in position to, give out bad information. A lot of people just started doing it because it was a demand. And if a person liked your content, then they wanted a course.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of how it went. So that's how it started with me. I was against the courses and all of that. And then 1, 2, 10, 15. Hey, can you make a course on sprinter vans? So it was just like a vicious cycle back then. I'd say that. It was a lot going on.
right.
Yeah. So
There's a
so
lot going
so
on.
so yeah, going into 2024, I'm just hoping that everybody can get along. I think it's still one little dynamic that needs to be mediated in the space, but I going forward, I'm just going I'm already educating, but every now and then I gotta, I may have to, you know tighten something up. But for the most part, I don't got no smoke. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no smoke with nobody. The video you did, I thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was
Right.
funny, so I ain't really tripping, man. We from the same spot. So
Right.
man, I appreciate what you're doing in the space,
Likewise. Likewise.
helping people out, and that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all
Mm-hmm.
about, man. It ain't this education, man. So yeah, if you feel like
Right.
I contradicted myself, man, then I'm gonna try better next year. Not to say it's education and then you know put my
But I,
ski
I
mask back
understand
on.
it too. I watch. I'm subscribed to people who specifically make videos about content creation and YouTube guidelines. I've been kind of researching for the last year, and it's certain stuff that sell. You know, it's certain stuff that you know I don't know. So it kind of just is what it is.
Yeah, it do sell,
Yeah.
but some stuff, I don't want to. I'd rather just, I don't know, man. That that
What? So
that
what? So
that
what you saying? You ain't gonna bring the ski mask out no more. That's what you
man.
saying.
I here's the thing, man. Like, when I first started creating content,
Hey,
I
Mark, they
thought,
want that ski mask again, man. I'm telling you,
man, they might not
that
see
was
it
critically
because
acclaimed.
they might not see it, man. Because when I watched the replay of that shit, I'm like, one of my chicks called me And she's like, man, why is you sitting up there in the ski mask? I'm like, man, it's just I'm just like
Nah, listen,
it's part of the
Kirk
stick.
Kirk had that same look. He was looking at you. Even Kirk was looking at you crazy, and he was on the
No,
live stream. He
I
like
told him.
he really put it on.
Yeah, I put it
He
on,
looking
man.
at you like,
I put
I
it on.
told him.
And
I told him
then
the next morning. I said, bro, go look at the chat. Everybody was saying, geez, Kirk was on quiet time.
yeah, you was like in the video, you was like, man, you could tell he ain't cheap
Anytime
either.
it-
He could have went to the beauty supply and got a $2
hey,
ski mask.
hey,
This
hey,
man sit up there with at least $100 ski mask. I'm like,
hey, hey, my
man.
homeboy gave me shit about that today. He said, "So you said that was a Burberry ski mask, huh?"
Oh man.
That's what he said. He said, "So you said that was a Burberry ski mask?"
Oh man. So I'm
No,
like, damn,
then he
man.
turned on me that night saying I'm wearing a pink shirt and I couldn't defend him. And look at you. You over here driving in a pink shirt. And I'm like,
That wasn't
yeah.
that same lie. That wasn't that same lie, but yeah.
And I'm like, man, listen to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but
I'm
I
gonna
now
tell you. But I'm gonna
go
tell
ahead.
you, I told him don't do it. I told him don't do it.
Nah, it was all good for the moment. It's just when I watched the playback, I'm like, yeah, this some clown shit right here. I said it myself. I said, yeah, it's some clown shit.
Hey,
I
Oh
can
hey,
admit
Philip,
it.
you heard it from me, man. That live stream, trust me, I told him do not do it.
No, it
But he
was
didn't
funny.
listen.
It was funny for the moment, but after after you watch it that first time, it's like, oh no, this some clown shit. Let me not do
Oh
this
man.
again. You live and you learn. That's why I took the shit down. It was some clown shit. I listen.
right.
I can admit it. I ain't gonna front on you. Vic he made me mad that day. But the real reason I took it down, uh, is because he don't like that ain't his MO. So I just feel like I'm coming at somebody like that. That's that's not his MO. You see what I'm saying? So it was kind of like doing too much for him. You see what I'm saying? It didn't call for all that. So that's
Right.
why I felt afterwards. But now going into 2024, I ain't really looking for no smoke. I'm just gonna focus on my education. I'm gonna just get back to the old boring Mark. I'm tired of people telling me, Mark, you too this, you too that. I don't want to hear it. So now you want me to be boring again? I'm gonna go back to the boring, monotone Mark. I'm not cracking no jokes no more because I don't want to hear no complaints. So it is what it is. It is. I'm going back to the PowerPoint presentations. I'm bringing all that shit back. I'm bringing all that. Y'all ain't gonna hear me talk about man no more. None of that shit. So y'all ruined it. Y'all
Right.
ruined it. But man, y'all want to take a few questions before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man.
You want to take a few questions? All right, who got questions? We probably take about 5 questions and then we can go and get up out of here, man.
But I appreciate you, man, and I'm thanking you for coming on, man, and
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing, man, and anytime you're ready to come cross over the OTR, man, just let me know. You know what I mean?
man.
Because
Hey, man, I told
that's
him though,
where the money at.
what you do with the partials though, man. Yeah, you cold with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if I was OTI, I definitely would holler at you because like I said, that's a gift. I know people that they can't put 2 or 3 partials
Mhm.
together. So
Yeah.
being able to do 4 and 5 at a time,
Yeah.
I gotta give you your props on that.
Yeah. It took real time for me to really pull it off in a way now where it is so easy for me to do it. And I was talking to Mark about this. Um, I got brokers and just the cities. The cities is the real big payoff for really running a successful partial truck. You get what I'm saying? That demographic, you gotta know it. You get what I'm saying? So going back to how I have it set up is once you identify your city after that week, you get what I'm saying? That's when you start to build into that direction. And so a lot of people is just not good at building load to run in that direction. This is why my truck run at a higher profit than the average semi truck. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, man, it's just a gift that I have, and it's just something that I do. And you know, a lot of people who do it in box truck, you do right. It takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. I'm pretty sure you
Yeah,
probably see when I
yeah.
talk about paying the warehouse guy. You used to be a warehouse guy, right? Giving
Hmm.
that guy $20 so you can move them four pallets around for you. Put his four
Right.
in, move those out of
Because you
four
got to have it
around.
staged the right way to pull it off.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, yeah. So
Exactly. So it was just a lot. It's a lot to it than just picking up loads. You know what I mean?
Would it be better to get a CDL right now to make more money, or is it best for car? This is actually my next live stream. I'm gonna talk about that. But
Hmm.
if one of y'all want to answer it, because I got a whole live stream talking about this. So y'all could one of y'all if y'all want to answer that one.
Well, for CDL, it's always good to get a CDL. Doesn't matter what type of vehicle you're gonna use anyway. CDL, just having a CDL is a plus. You get what I'm saying? And uh like Midwest and Mark was saying early on, the startup cost is way less than a box truck, especially now. So if you have a CDL, is a plus. I'll definitely get it. Um, and also if you get endorsement, it's always good to get it. But if you're new when you have a CDL, I think the combination of two is a plus anyway. You can't lose going that direction.
yeah.
Let's see, 3 years. Any other questions? I put the link in there too if you want to come up. If not, ask your questions now. Um, while you got the chance. Now's the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the time. I think we topped out at like 150 something people. I think 160 something people.
Yeah.
It's winding down now. So if you got questions, now's the time. Will this live stay up? Yes, this live will stay up. Nah,
Oh,
Mark, just do you. Nah, I'm just talking shit. I'm still gonna talk my shit. You think I'm gonna stop talking my shit? You think I'm gonna stop talking about man? Are you crazy? Listen, listen. I'm just talking shit. You think I'm gonna go back? Boring Mark was boring to me. So you think I'm gonna go back and bore myself? No, I'm gonna still get up here and talk about man. I'm gonna still talk my shit. Some people gonna like it. Some people gonna love it. It is what it is. But I'm just talking shit. I'm still talk my shit going into 2024. Nah, I'm gonna
yeah.
talk my shit.
Kirk probably going on a rant in the next couple of days.
No, actually, I'm gonna take my wife advice. I'm gonna take it. I think, I think.
Crew's
See,
coming for you, Kirk.
I love messing with Mark and his audience.
Crew's coming for you,
See what
Kirk.
I'm saying?
He coming. Don't think you don't. I wouldn't say that too soon. You've been on YouTube. He's
Well. Check
coming.
this out. Check this
He
out.
coming.
Check this
He
out.
coming.
Hey, check this out. Check this
He
out.
coming for you.
You know me, I ain't backing down.
All right.
Oh
Well,
man.
I wouldn't say
You
that
get
too
what I'm
soon
saying?
then, because he's the shit you
So
said. He gonna respond. It's just a matter of time.
yeah, he said stuff, so I replied to what he says. But I'm gonna tell you this: if he comes with a video, you know me, Mark, I'm gonna put it together because that's what I did the first time. I put it
Huh.
together, and he was out for like 9 months. You know what I mean?
Hold on, yeah. Hold on. Let's see. You know what? Hold on. Let me go back. Damn, I don't think I added a new scene. Let me see. Let me add him. Me, Kurt. I'm gonna take me out. I'm gonna change this to camera Midwest, and then let me put this to camera. Oh no, you know what? That's the wrong one. Give me 1 second, y'all. There we go. Wrong button. Let me change this while I figure this out. Yo,
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling?
how you
What's going
doing?
on, boss?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Everything good, everything good. I'm glad to see y'all two together, man.
Hey,
I'm
what's happening with you?
subscribed to both y'all channels. Hey,
Which
chilling,
two?
bro, chilling.
Which two you talking about? Who you talking about?
Uh, Midwest and Mark, Midwest and Mark.
Okay. What's your
Yeah,
Mark is
yeah,
your
yeah,
name? Okay.
yeah. My name Mark too.
Okay.
I've
How can
been,
we
I
help you?
didn't kicked it with you before. I'm out here in Arizona. You were supposed to get with me when you came out here.
Yeah, I was out there in May. I'm coming back real soon, probably in February. I'm gonna put some in the community. I want to meet everybody that's out in Arizona. I got a lot of subs in Arizona.
That's what's up. Hey, I just really wanted to get on here, man. Kind of get some info. I want to see how to get a hold of you because I want to set my system up. But I'm glad that you in Midwest kicking it. I'm from Michigan. I'm from that area too. So you know,
Hmm.
but I'm out here. I'm running one box truck. Remember I talked to you a while ago when I bought it for 18.5.
You talking to
I
me or
bought
you
that
talking to
O2.
Midwest?
I'm
Oh,
talking to
that's you
Mark.
that bought the O2.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
earlier this year. You said it was the
That
best
was
decision you
really.
ever made.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was renting that box truck, man, for 2,519 cents a mile. Man, killing me.
Yeah, I
But
remember you.
yeah, y'all boys keep it going, man. Kirk, Kirk, you be tripping sometimes. You be tripping sometimes, you know.
Don't get on me,
Luckily,
man.
nah,
It's
nah,
gonna
it's
be
all
different
good,
next
bro.
year. It's gonna
It's
be
all
different
good.
next
You
year.
know, everybody on here about business, so it's a little different. You ain't into no street shit, but you know, you
Right.
you be tripping sometime, and if you get out there, bro, like especially in that murder mitten, man, you talk to them boys up there like you be talking, they gonna get your head.
No, but see, I pushed the envelope with Mark. You see what I'm saying?
Now you
And
push it with a lot of people. You be
no,
on
no,
here
listen,
talking.
I pushed the envelope with Mark, and I know the victim gonna be the subscribers. That's how I do it.
Now
That's how
you
you guys fall victim to it.
no, you push the issue talking about what niggas do. Niggas this, niggas that. Y'all always want to go get this, get that. Man, you can't be doing that sometime, bro. Cause
Oh,
you gotta remember, even though you from over there, you here
mhm.
now, and you a
Right,
nigga
right,
too.
right,
So don't think you a white boy. You a nigga too. That's how they look
right,
at you. All right.
right.
I'm 48. I ain't no young cat. I'm 48. You know what I'm saying? So I got grandbabies, everything. But I'm just telling you, you know, if you run into the right cats, they're gonna go upside their head, bro. You be talking crazy sometimes. You cool with me. You got good info. I watch
Right,
you.
I
right,
think
right.
I think what
But
I think what he's trying to say, Kurt, in so many words is, and I know y'all can't see me, but I didn't. I got some shit going on back here. I got to figure it out. What he's saying is, when you on the internet, Kurt, you gotta understand that there's an audience watching you, but there's a lot of people in the chat that's not communicating, and you never know who's watching, right?
Right, right,
So me being in the market that I am and growing up here, I understand that. So, people can see you, but you can't see them. And you're gonna have people that's gonna like you, and then you got people that don't like you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of what you say because you still gotta move around out here. You never know who you may run into. You see what I'm
right,
saying? So I
right.
think that's what he's trying to say. You may be indirectly offending someone, and nowadays people just do shit for clout. You may think that, well, you know what, I'm just Kirky Fresh. I'm not Anton Daniels, or I'm not, Myron and Fresh. I'm not one of these guys that are well known. But you know what? They'll make you well known when they catch up with you and get on your ass and film it and then upload it. You see what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
So
Right,
I
right,
think that's what he's trying to say. So, that's the kind of mindset that where maybe that culture. I wish I was on screen, but you could hear me. Where that culture dynamic comes into place. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Now that me and
Yeah.
Midwest talk, we grew up on the east side.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we know, like it's a certain way, the way we move and shit we do. Our head is always on a swivel. We got to stand on our square.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? We can't get caught off our
Absolutely.
square. So, we pay attention to everything we do. We pay attention to everything we say because at the end of the day, you never know who's watching. And when you pushing a
I
certain
know Mark.
agenda purposely, you just got to be careful. That's all he's saying.
I
Right.
know
Right.
Mark. You say you 43, right?
Yeah.
How old is you, Midwest?
I'm 39.
39. And how old is you, Kurt?
43.
43. Okay. So back in my day, I'm gonna tell you like this. Up in Michigan, we used to have to fight. Okay. Now people playing with these guns and stuff. So now it's a whole different field of everything. But you will run into some old school cats that still want to go upside your head. Okay. So I'm not like that. I'm just telling you because I hear how you talk sometimes. And when we be
Mm-hmm.
watching the live stream with my homeboy, sometimes he drive out here too. He be like, man, if I ever see that dude, I'm whooping. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, it ain't even that deep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Right.
not
Right.
that deep because this
Right.
is just entertainment on here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to kind of school them because they're younger too. Hey, we business minded now.
Mhm.
This is a different era. We ain't into that no more. We done moved away from that. We came way out here to get away from that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it took 7 years to change the mind frame once we got out here. All right. And some people still stuck in that mind frame. It's hard to shake it. You feel me?
Right. Right.
So it's just be on your P's and Q's, talk your shit, but be careful because niggas take that shit kind of offensive sometimes. Especially
Mm-hmm.
when you be like, you niggas, you a nigga too.
Right. Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's how they gonna look at you over here. Even though
Mm-hmm.
you Jamaican or whatever, that's how they gonna look at you over here because of your skin color. All right?
But
Ain't no
see,
such thing.
that's kind of like a question that I have for you, Kurt, and not just being on no funny business or nothing like that, but like, so pretty much you more identify as being Jamaican as opposed to black.
No. So this is how we view things, right? And
Mm.
this is why I try to make Mark understand. And you guys, just like Mark, you Mark right here, say
Yeah, yeah.
that the culture nowadays is different. So when I talk, when Mark always asks me y'all, right? Like for instance, when I say y'all, or like you would say y'all niggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of how I was raised and because of the way I came to America, it's like Mark would say, it's like even though you're American citizen, you pay tax and everything, it's like there's still this gap between us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the transformation will, I don't, it never fully take over to be like you one of us now. You get what I'm saying? Do y'all
It's
understand what
because
I'm?
you
So
you
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 feel
put
like you
that
wasn't
gap
like
there.
accepted in with open arms,
No, no,
like.
no. What I'm saying is because of the culture difference and where I'm from and the way I was Americanized into the system, is there's a gap between us. You see what
But
I'm
you
saying?
let me tell you, when you do stuff like that and you say y'all niggas, you put that gap there, okay? Because most of the brothers over here ain't gonna look at you no different just because you from Jamaica. I
No,
got
not
Jamaican
really.
homeboys. I got Jamaican homeboys,
Yeah,
and
right.
they didn't talk like that because when they got here, it was just all love, and they saw the difference because we communicated face to face, not on the internet. You
Mm-hmm,
understand what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Right.
So now they get to see, okay, you just like me. So I'm going to the reggae joints, parties with them, going to the restaurants. I'm kicking it with them. We up
Mm-hmm.
here seeing Beanie Man at the concert, everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they knew I had their back
Mm-hmm.
because they got to meet me face to face. So when you generalize people and you put everybody in the same bag without knowing,
Mm-hmm.
you creating that gap.
And that's
It,
what I'm
it,
saying.
it,
That's probably something that because of how I was brought here and because of, you get what I'm saying? The way my culture, because of my people, you get what I'm saying? Meaning my family that I come around. Because I don't know if you're watching live when I told Mark that when I came here, I was put on my P's and Q's about Black American. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the gap is from my people. It ain't got nothing to do with Black American, but just my people, my family member. You get what I'm saying?
well,
So
now
now
since you've been
that's
here
why
for a while,
when I talk, I would talk in the sense that you're explaining. You get what I'm saying? So
right? But since
moving
you've been here
forward,
for a while now, you should have been and got adapted to it and start learning about this stuff. You understand what I'm
hmm,
saying? Because it's not going to be a generalized type of people that you meet. Everybody's going to be different. All right.
correct,
It's just like that, you
right?
know. And when I don't know how you was taught, but Black American is really, this is our land. We the
Hmm.
original ones here. This was
Right.
colonized by the Europeans. Okay. When they talk about the real Indians, that's mostly your Black Americans. So you come on this land thinking that you coming to the white man's land, but you really coming to our land.
I wouldn't say it's a white man land. I'm just saying that I think that when us immigrant come here, we put into certain, we're fed to be on certain guard about certain people
But you
because
see what you just said. You
we
see
get the
what you just
same
said
put
though,
on
right?
guard about the white people just as how we put them on the guard about black folks.
But you see what you just said. You immigrant. When you come here,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you came here, you was able to make a living. You was
Right.
welcomed with open arms. So why start generalizing the same people that welcome you in?
Right. But see, that goes back to my people. You understand what I'm saying? Who is my family?
Right. So
Who
you need to
taught me?
start going back checking your people now
But
and
that's what
start
I'm
letting them
saying.
Jamaicans know y'all teaching us wrong. These niggas is
Exactly.
good niggas. So
Right.
so now your shit shouldn't be you niggas. It should be you
Exactly.
good people.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's all love, man. I ain't come on here for that. I do want to
No,
get
no,
with you,
no.
Mark. Some
I mean, one thing Mark would tell you, and one thing we can have a conversation, and I think you coming on, and we can have a dialogue, in Midwest here, because that's something he spoke about in his video yesterday. You see what I'm saying? The problem
Cause yeah,
is
I just
are
wonder
we
because
willing to have the conversation? You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think
yeah,
you necessarily gotta, in my opinion, set yourself apart. Like, I mean, you look like everybody else, but I mean, I
exactly, exactly.
understand you got an accent, and
Mm-hmm.
you saying that your family, got different type of values and beliefs. But once you hear to me, you hear, and
Mm-hmm.
like I say, you look like everybody else to me. So I wouldn't consider you a Jamaican immigrant, but I know that's your heritage.
Right, right.
So I mean, I would never say that, but to me, shit, you just a black guy. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I understand, kind of
Yeah.
where
It's
you
it's
coming
just
from.
one of them things, man, to where I done seen so much. Because Michigan is the Midwest too. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the Midwest is a melting pot of everything. You got some of everybody come up there. Puerto Rican, Mexican, black, Jamaican, white, even white. You know what I mean? My wife German and Mexican. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So you got a melting pot of everything that come up in there. And everybody seem to get along.
Mm-hmm.
It don't be a bunch of, that racist stuff a lot of times where I'm from. Everybody was cool with everybody. We even had Asians up here. Some of my
Right.
coldest basketball players was Chinese. and they stayed right up in the projects with us and knew everybody. So you make yourself sound racist when you do that.
Right, right.
You know what I
But
mean?
see, what pretty much what you said, Kirk, is that your family don't look at themselves as black.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's just like, let's just take religion then. It's just like a Muslim, a Christian, and uh a a Jews, right? It's different teaching. Each of those teaching will put their people on certain guard about a other culture. You see what I'm saying? That's
I
all
got
I'm saying. So when I fly in America, my family let me know this is how America run, and these people. That's how they stay. These are the type of people. That's how they are. You get what I'm saying? So just be aware of these type of folks. You get what I'm saying? Now, just like you talk about Black American, I was also one about white folks. You get what I'm saying? But in a different format. So I think it's not. I think that every immigrant faced that challenge when they come to the U.S. But again, it's just, you have to just open to realize that it's not what you've been told, and you
Yeah,
have to go out there and kind of like be with the people to change that
yeah.
narrative. You see what I'm saying?
Your your
So
character is going to
right.
determine how people treat you. Okay, your character. So if your character is racist, that's how people gonna treat you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm around out here in Arizona. I'm around plenty of white people. They all seem to have love for us. There ain't no issues. I don't have no issues.
What part of
But I'm an
Arizona you
older
in?
guy too. I stay in a little town called Waddell right now.
Is
It's
that
way
right
out.
outside
I'm about,
of Phoenix, Scottsdale?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm out by the mountains, man. Let's see if I
Okay.
can show you. See how to flip this camera.
Yeah, I like the women out there, man. You know, I got a bunch of homies from Chicago that moved out there, so I be going out there to visit. Like all the women is like, there's a big difference from Chicago. They like real friendly out there. They ain't got the stink
Mm-hmm.
attitudes. They got the honey bronze skin. Yeah, oh no, we lost him.
Yeah, mine cut the call off by
No,
because
because a few
Sometimes
people
sometimes.
my bad.
calling
I was
in.
trying to flip it around. I'm out here by the
Yeah.
mountains though.
Okay. Are you in
Yeah,
the
I'm out
mountains?
by the mountain. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Way west,
Yeah.
West Valley.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back out there probably in February, man. I'm gonna come
Yeah.
out there in
I'm
February, man.
How do I get with you though? Because I'm trying to set my system up. I know I need some more equipment.
System
I
for
want to,
what?
hook my
Content?
channel up because yeah, yeah. And plus,
Oh,
I
okay.
got, I run a tax business too. I do taxes.
hmm
So I'm trying to get this channel
You
put
got
up so I can start
you
putting the
got
content out
Instagram?
for the tax.
Just email me. You got my
Okay.
email, right?
Now let me
I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. We lost him again. Let me bring Sharp up.
try to do
I'm
that.
gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna type it in the
Alright,
chat
bro.
right now.
Y'all do your thing, Kirk. It's all good.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Midwest, keep doing your
Hey,
thing, bro.
yeah, hey, good
And Mark,
talking to you, bro.
you
All right.
too, bro. Mark, keep doing it, Mark. Love your shit, bro.
Appreciate you. I put my email in the chat. All right.
All right, I'm gonna hit you, bro.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Yep,
Stay
y'all
safe,
take it
man.
light.
Yep.
All right,
later.
cool.
All right. Hold on. We got somebody else. What camera is that? Hold on. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sharp. Assign to camera. Yo. Yo. Hello?
Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I think you're talking to me, though.
Yeah, we hear you. You in the dark. All right, man. All right, man. Anybody else got any questions? I seen one more. Let me see. Hold on, let me switch this over because he kept calling, so I know whatever he wanted to talk about must have been pretty important. Give me a second. Let me switch that. All right, let me see what other questions I seen. Final mile, what's paying in Phoenix? Final mile, what's it paying in Phoenix? I will have to look into that. It's not something I would be able to answer right here, right now. J. Cole, appreciate you. I'm in Phoenix. Amazon is trash here unless you're in Tucson. Everybody that I know that's a subscriber that do Amazon in Phoenix says the same thing. Even when I look at the rates in Phoenix, like I don't know what's going on with Phoenix, why Phoenix is such a bad market, but everybody that's in Phoenix does nothing but complain about Phoenix. So I think Phoenix, when I look at Phoenix as the same way you look at Florida. It's a retirement state. So hold on, let's see something. Yo.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
we
we
hear
hear
you. We
you.
hear you.
Hello.
Yo. I don't know, bruh.
I think it's
Whatever he
phone.
got going on is tweaking. All right, but yeah, let me see what other questions we got, bro, before we get up out of here. Let me see. Final mile. So he said a mouthful. Actually, you better been studying. Don't start. We got number love, Pippi, Donnie Facts, saying J. Cole. Anybody got any questions? Well, I'm looking through these questions. This is all about that Kurt. What's I seen the questions? Where was that? Sorry about that. Can't hear anything. You got to make sure that your speaker, if you coming on from your phone, make sure your speaker is on. It's going to let you know what audio when you hit the link to come up. It's going to tell you your camera, front facing, the back facing, and then your audio. If you got a Bluetooth, you got to select it. If you're on your phone, then you got to select the phone. Let me see. I got to scroll back up. Coming into 2024, what do you think the trucking industry is going to look like? Coming into 2024, what do you think the trucking industry is going to look like? Will it be better than this year? I guess I answer that one.
That's a trick question.
I think honestly, I think you got a lot of variables that are going to play into next year. We know that towards the end of the year, so let's say the second half of the year is election time, right? You're going to have Trump and Biden going on they press runs, right? Chicago we actually hosting the Democratic National Convention here in August. So I think the second half of the year going into November 8th or whenever the election is, I think it's going to be one of those FUD times, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I think whenever there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, people stop spending money. Now, there's a few crises going on right now, and we don't know how those crises are going to play into next year. That could, mess some things up. And then you always got to plan for the unforeseen. Now, based on the economy right now, we know that they're going to start to tackle interest rates as far as bringing rates down. They said they're going to bring them down about 0.75 of a point next year, so about 0.75%. That's good news. Inflation, they said they're going to tackle that all the way into 2026. So little by little, that's going to come down. But there's a lot of variables at stake. We got the Ukraine thing, we got Putin, we got an election, we got the Israel Palestine thing, and then we got a migrant crisis. Not to mention whatever else may happen. So then we got layoffs now because this is part of the wave of inflation. After you go through your inflation, now you got layoffs, and you're starting to see the layoffs in the tech industry. Um, it's kind of hard to gauge. It's kind of hard to gauge. I think if we do see any uptick, it's going to be in maybe end of Q2 going into Q3, but then that begins the press cycle for the presidential election. So I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. Next year, forecasting next year is tough.
Right.
Forecasting next year is tough, you know. Mark, you need to talk about the prices of the trucks. Are they coming down? They down. I'm looking at trucks for 15 and 20,000. They down. They down. They down.
At least under 40.
Yeah, they definitely under 40. But next year, I think if you run your business, I think if you sustain it now, I think you'll be fine next year. What I can say, I don't think next year is going to get any worse than what you've seen. You know what I'm saying? So do not get into this business if you have bills. Classy Red says, do not get into this business if you have bills. I think that's something that I've touched on as far as, paying attention to your at-home expenses. I think you need to look to see how much it costs you to live, and then you need to start looking into the business because the business may not be able to cover what your current living expenses are. So that's something that you need to do prior to getting into the business. We answered that one. Yeah, man. Felicia, I appreciate you guys. I'll appreciate you, Felicia. Question: does Midwest have any dirty laundry? Oh, that's Axel. Never mind. I didn't pay attention. Y'all three are dope together. Thank you, Mark. I will watch the replay. Mark, I think all y'all should start back the Three Wise Men in 2024. That's if the gentleman will consider the idea. I mean, that's something we can think about. That's something we can think about. I see a lot of people putting it in the chat. I don't know, Midwest, man. I don't know. Midwest don't seem like he the type of guy that that might want to get into these deep debates with Kirk, man. Midwest
Kirk crazy, man. Kirk
Midwest,
crazy.
yeah, man. Midwest, some of these debates, man, drive you crazy like the other night, man. So I don't know. That's something we could talk about. But then, Kirk still ain't committed to another season.
Well, wait a minute. Did you tell Midwest about the debate me and you have about the firearm Saturday? Did you watch that one, Midwest?
That live stream is up.
Well, he did a live stream and he was telling me about owning a firearm.
I ain't see that one.
Okay.
What day was that?
That was Saturday night. This past Saturday.
Yeah, I missed it. It's still up?
Yeah, it's still up.
Yeah, I ain't see that one. Saturday night.
Yeah. So that's just something we'll probably have to talk about going into.
Bump head too much, man.
We'll definitely have to get back together. That's for sure. But
yeah, we could do something.
We'll wrap. We'll wrap.
Let me make sure I got all these questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Sharp, I don't know what's going on with your phone, but we tried a couple times. You want to try one more time before we end it? Then you got it. Cam and shirt required to hit the link. Yeah, make sure you got your shirt on too, man, because we couldn't even see you. I gotta be able to see you, man. Straight up. Mark, the call who finally got through. Kurt, Mark, talk about the price of the trucks. I'm in Phoenix. I did a few different final miles. Some pay $650 a day and some pay $500. $500 is cheap for final mile. $650 is cheap for final mile. At least in my market, depending on what you're doing. But you're in Phoenix. It seems like everything is cheap in Phoenix. So I say $750 is the minimum you would want to do a final mile route for. But I mean, if $650 is the best that's going on out there, then you may have to consider it. I've only done Amazon twice since I've started in 2021. So what are you doing? If you're looking to get in the final mile, you've only done Amazon twice since 2021. What are you doing? OTR? Do you think cargo van space will stay steady in 2024? Yeah, because that's where all the essentials are at. Y'all want to answer that?
I can't really. What was it?
Do you think the cargo van space will stay steady in 2024?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the cargo van space is safe
for a while. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
lot more people entering, but I don't know. It don't seem like they.
Go through the problems like box truck people.
Now I've been OTI. You can get stuck out over the road depending on what fleet owner you running for, because it's a bunch of them. So I know that struggle of individuals. You know, you end up somewhere in like I know I ended up in like New Hampshire one time, and it was good going over there, but I really couldn't get back out. So I know Sprinter vans go through that, but that's more like OTR.
Mm-hmm.
I think the local guys really not dealing with too much of that.
Yeah, I think local in a cargo van is cool. You dealing with essentials. You dealing with like office supplies, paper. I mean, if you running like for veterans, you dealing with liquor. That ain't never going nowhere. Paper supplies, that shit going to schools and
But see, they don't
hospitals and
they don't let everybody play with that liquor because you know you get to
yeah,
breaking them bottles and they start deducting from that
charging you.
settlement. I
Yep,
seen that plenty times.
yep.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Jim, who's this? Yo, my man, we can't see you, bro. You gotta cut a light on or something, man.
Man, I can't hear you guys for nothing. But hopefully, I could watch the live back and probably hear the question I'm asking. But anyway, good night, guys.
All right, good
Good
night, good
night.
night, peace. Yeah. So, let me see something. One more thing. Let me see one more thing. Yes, Phoenix. All right. One more question. I run local doing final mile, and I have a direct shipper that I work with, and I have a cargo van also. So I make. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So y'all. I guess that's going to conclude our live. We appreciate everybody for coming out. We'll definitely probably try to plan something like this again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
in the future. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to Midwest's channel. The link to his channel is in the description and it's also in the title of this live stream. So make sure you guys go subscribe. Make sure you guys subscribe to Kirk's channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. This will probably be my last live stream. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Be safe and hope you guys, enjoy your Christmas. Y'all guys want to say anything in pardon?
Hey man, I just appreciate y'all having me, and it was good opening up this dialogue, and yeah, I just appreciate everybody that participated in the live.
No problem, no problem. Kurt, what you got, man?
Yeah, man. I appreciate Midwest for coming on, man. And everybody else, everybody that's in the chat, man. Appreciate Mark for coming on. You know what I mean, and having a conversation. I really respect that. You know what I mean, and yeah, everybody just have a Merry Christmas. Yeah, but shout out to everybody, man. And, next year we're gonna do things a little bit different. You know what I mean, so.
You
Yeah.
still
All
ain't you
right.
still ain't committed. Kirk still ain't committed to the Wiseman, so I don't know.
Hey, don't get
Yeah.
Midwest
What I
started,
tell you,
man.
Mark, I already told you what the deal,
Yeah,
yo.
he
Look
ain't
at it,
committed,
Mark.
so yeah.
Mark, look
You
at
ain't
him.
committed. Yeah, you ain't committed, man. I mean, people ask for this Wiseman. That's a question. Let me ask you before we get out here. Midwest, what do you think about the Wiseman show? Do you think it was a good show? Or do you think it was too edgy for box trucking? Or because it seemed like
No,
a
I
lot of
liked it,
people
man.
liked
I
it since it's
think it
gone.
was a good show, and the space need to be shook up a little bit. Air Blue Moon. I think it's boundaries, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I think people kind of enjoy y'all, you know, up here showing y'all ass sometime. They and another thing I liked was why did you stop doing it? I like testimonials. Couldn't get
Midwest.
Man, it wasn't me. See, with the
that was a good one,
testimonial,
man.
it was good, but here's what happened. It started exposing people's
The flaws.
flaws, not being business people. So,
Yeah.
you give your testimonial, and then comes the accountability part. And what happened was a lot of people, I guess they got scared, they got timid, because majority of these people that's out here, I'm keeping it 1,000, they not on top of their business. They not on top of their business. So, you know, I think the first episode was cool because that guy, he's one of the people that reaches out to me often for direction. You see what I'm saying? But like when Serious Lanes came, and then a few other people, and even with Big Zoe was one of the ones where, you know, I've talked to him and, you know, given him, and he would be here all the time, and he made the money. He listened to me. He transitioned. He did the cargo van, and then he transitioned with the moving. So he's doing his dedicated run during the day, and then he's following my blueprint to work that van in the late afternoon into the evening. He's making money. He's making box truck money in a cargo van. He's doing $20,000 a month.
You could do it if you
You could
know
do
what
it.
you're doing.
If you know what you're doing. So he listened to me. He got to the $20,000 a month. But okay, so where's the money? So then, you know, that's where that accountability came in, which was probably the best testimonial episode. And then it was like after that episode, the way I kind of like, you know, got him in order, it was like after that, it was just like, you know, my emails just stopped from people wanting to come up, man. So
And see, you just said something that I was just talking about too, like where the money go, you know. And I probably got homeboys that's gonna get a little pissed off at me or whatever, but you know, I'm gonna tell you something else these dudes doing, man. Some of these dudes, they dating outside their league, man. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. Like I got homeboys, bro, that was dating 5s and 6s. All right, I probably should say this, bro. They run around here with 9s and 10s. They can't afford them. They don't know how to handle them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you the truth. Like some people, it's a multitude of reasons why people don't got money. I'm just telling you the truth.
That's true. And from a guy who date 9s and 10s, and I'm not saying this to be cocky, I'm not bragging, so y'all don't get in my chat. Don't get in my chat talking crazy. But I swear, 9s and 10s, he's not lying to you. It's expensive.
It's a whole different ball game.
It's a different ball game. Why you think I got a personal shopper at Gucci and Louis? That shit different. You dig what I'm saying? It's different. You know, you're not going to Cheesecake. You're going to State 48. You know, these high maintenance chicks, they're high maintenance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your bread gotta be up there. You know what I'm saying? And that's another bill. So what you're saying,
they don't realize it until they get it. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
it's a beautiful thing. You know, you know, staring them out.
I don't date 9s and 10s, so I don't know about that. Y'all gotta ask Mark.
Yeah, man, it's no, you right. Since you like, see that's something that I've always wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to, because for me to bring it up,
real though. It's real.
It's real, but I would use real case scenarios using myself, and I felt like it was too. I don't want to. Since you brought it up, I'm talking about it. Let's just say it like that. And no, you real. I mean, if you dating outside your league, especially you dating a high maintenance chick, and you trying to build your business, is just that's another bill, and a lot of that money is counterproductive. You need to, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to make sure you establishing your bread is up, because you're gonna be constantly taking trips. You're gonna be constantly on a dime's notice, dinners. Christmas is gonna be different. Birthdays are gonna be different. They're high maintenance for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not utilizing that high maintenance chick to your advantage too, you know what I'm saying? When you going and you rubbing shoulders and you moving and shaking out here, you know what I'm saying? And you utilizing that look to your advantage, then it don't make sense either. So no, you're right. You're right. That's something that needed to be said. You know, people get a little bread, and
as soon as they start a trucking company, it's like,
yeah, you know. So yeah,
and how you get them? it's how you gotta keep them. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be the big spender. It's like you can't fall back, and
Right.
switch up mid relationship. Hey,
Oh, they gonna leave you.
they gonna leave.
It ain't no question. They out of there. They gonna leave you. They gone. They only there for the money anyway. Shit. But all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hey, hold on. Midwest and Kirk. Want to holler at y'all in the back room.
Yeah.
Let this outro run out for like 30 seconds. We'll holler at y'all. Hold on. Oh shit. Hold on. How would y'all guys run a box truck to make more than 20K a month each truck? I'm gonna let you answer. I mean, he said more than 20K, so
You
that's
know,
an
that's
advance.
that's aggressive right now. I say that.
Yeah, I think right now in Final Mile it's really aggressive. I don't 20K is about your max depending on the market. Some markets you could do 7,000 a week, but you running a 7-day a week contract. I don't know as far as Amazon, Kirk, you could tell them as far as OTR.
Yeah, with OTR now, with making that kind of money, man, it's like we talk about, you have to doing multiple stop, and you really gotta be out here and just running the street. You know what I mean? You gotta put the work in to get that kind of money. You can make it, but you gotta be out here just doing it. You know what I mean? And for 2024 coming in, with your box truck, I think also you got to just keep changing your plans and making a business work in your favor. You know what I mean? And really analyze the cities. The cities is a big part of how much money you're going to really bring home. This is why I talk about routing the truck. See what I'm saying? So all of those things is what people got to pay more attention to. You know what I mean? Chicago is different from Alabama when freight is concerned. You know what I mean? So I think people just need to pay more attention to where they running with their box truck. Mark was on early on. He lives in Arizona, right?
Mm,
So by him living out there, I'm pretty sure he's gonna, you know, figure out how to run his truck in that area. You get
mm.
what I'm saying? So that's what everybody got to do. You got to just sit down and spend time to understand your area and route your truck. You know what I
What
mean?
about Amazon? What about Amazon?
Yeah, I was gonna say with Amazon, man, I'm gonna just give y'all like the max I didn't hit in a long time is like 52, and that's
Mm-hmm.
aggressive. I mean, that's kind of. But some people I know they may be doing 6, but you're talking about 6, 7 days a week. You know, all day
Mm-hmm.
long, like multiple drivers. So from my experience, you could hit. The max I didn't hit is 52 recently.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably gonna be on the lower end of that. You know, probably less than 5. And then when you get to talking about January, February, the first quarter,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't see you making more than 15 in a month. It's
Right.
possible. It's always variables, but yeah, I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.